Hello, guys, and welcome back to the LBLCS. I'm your host, Buggleberry Finn. Tonight, going to be joined by the one and only Full Metal, a man whose diet is entirely metals.
Thank you. Especially silver. Silver's the best one. Don't get me with that copper, though. Too rusty. Too rusty.
Too rusty. Too much oxidation on that. Silver, though. Interesting that you're going with silver. Do you see yourself as a second place kind of man, or is that just having to be a coincidence?
It happens to be coincidence. You have to start with silver. If you go gold, people think too highly of you. Start silver, you work your way up. Right now, I'm just building up and building up that resistance. Next year will be gold.
Okay.
After that, we'll just keep going up from there.
Okay. I like this. I like that you have an idea of resistance. I personally am building a current resistance to whiskey, as March 27th was National Whiskey Day. Hi, Buggleberry Finn. Hi, Boss Guy. 369. How are you? How you doing there, bud? So I got whiskey, just like a lot of people in chat. I was actually informed of this national holiday just an hour ago in my DMs.
Interesting. Sadly, I've got the good old Smirnoff with me, but whiskey does seem pretty baller.
It's definitely going to be a good. Hang on, I don't know if you can hear the sip. Hang on, let me try.
Oh, beautiful. What a deep sip that was.
Yeah, it's me smacking afterwards.
Did you get all the flavor?
I got all the flavor.
That's all that matters. All that matters.
That is all that matters. I'm getting yelled at in chat. Victor Getty, welcome to the LBLCS. Thank you for the follow. Boss Guy, your caps lock is on, bro. You're screaming at me. Last four telling me my ASMR is off the charts. Thank you, my dude.
They're just excited to meet you. They're excited to hear your excitement for the whiskey and your excitement for the series.
Well, the first part of the excitement is not too hard. The second part of the excitement, also not too hard. This is a banger series. As I said in upcoming events, we are going to see which team gets their first shark bone, which team is going to break their duck, which team is going to get their first series win tonight, Full Metal. Who do you got your money on? No thoughts, no thinking. Who you got your money on? Who you got Schmeckles on?
I've got my money on Bingus.
Bingus, Flingus is where your money's gonna go.
Bingus, Flingus, they're ready for this win. All right, they've been knocked down again and again, but you know what? They're ready. They've got the carries in pocket. They're ready for the strong picks. They're gonna come out here swinging. They're gonna give a fight.
I want to see it. Listen, I know that you did a little research. I dabbled in some research as well. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I did a little light reading on na.op.gg, and let me tell you,
what do you got for me?
I'm excited for what could come out tonight. I'm excited for the things that have been being practiced.
Okay.
And let me just be really clear about this. We're gonna play a game later, but I do want Bingus Flingus to live up to their name of the Flingus. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yo, I mean,
another friend.
No matter who wins, who loses, this is gonna be an excellent series. I've got my camo slippers on. I'm ready for the long haul. I'm ready for this 3 game.
Oh damn, you're locked in. Putting slippers on is like locking yourself to your chair. Like you ain't getting up.
I'm not getting up. This game is gonna be filled with excitement. Not just this game. It's gonna be the game after and the game after.
Because as we know, Serenity has not had a 2-game series yet.
They haven't.
They've had only 3-game series, which means if you're watching or if you're playing, you better be locked in because we ain't going anywhere for a couple hours.
I mean, who needs to? We're gonna have incredible games of League of Legends tonight. We've got incredible players coming up. Do you want to talk about some of their rankings coming into this?
I want to talk about a couple players.
Let's do it.
I want to talk about Uwufi. I want to talk about Foolish Sucka. And I'm not seeing I'm Leap right now. I'm not sure if I'm Leap is playing tonight. Do we have confirmation or a denial of whether or not I'm Leap's going to be here?
It looks like it might be I negate it.
That does seem to be what it's like. I'm chomping on the mic a bit. Oh, let me turn myself down to -13. Hang on. I don't want to be chomping too loud. I will be shouting pretty soon, so let me
We're getting messages. They're saying I'm just out
We're gonna
game
bring it
1, so it
all
looks
the
like
way
they might be
down.
coming in game 2 and game 3.
Oh, I'm gonna leap on in coming game 2. I like teams that are able to sub. I like teams that mix up the pot a little bit. So
We'll have to see what that does. I mean, they know that I'm Leap is not in game 1. They know it's going to be a different roster. So are they going to have to prepare a different draft for this first game?
I can't remember if I'm Leap is a season 1 or a season 2 LBLCS player. I believe they were here all the way back in season 1, so 9 seasons ago in season 1. I'm Leap was here. They had a different name, and I don't want to tell anybody that name right now because I don't want to give anything away. But I will once they're here and once they've picked their pick, then I'll expose what that name used to be. And if you've been playing here for a while, you probably know it. Woofy's a crazy jungler. We're probably going to see him play a champion from League of Legends. Foolish Sukka, similarly, probably going to play a champion from League of Legends. See about everybody else on the team.
They might go with someone from, Raid Shadow Legends for all we know.
They could end up doing a little bit of a smite thing. Woofy's going to do a smite thing, but it's going to be different.
Just a little different. They might go blue instead of red, and that'll make a huge difference when it comes down to it.
Les Force saying that he better see Gragas. That's all he's saying.
Let's Force wants the Gragas. I wonder why. I wonder if he just really likes the plays with the ulti, or if he just wants to see the big man jug.
No, I think we know the truth. I think we know which one he wants to see. Come on, let's be honest. Let's
We
be
do know the
honest.
true one. So yeah, I think we will be getting started here soon. We're gonna have the drafts coming up soon, so it's exciting. We're gonna see some interesting plays here. Both teams coming into this, they want the game 1. They want to start the series off strong. So I wonder if any of them are gonna pick out any pocket picks, any interesting picks that the other team may not have noticed.
Yeah, I wonder how, if we do see a sub, like if we do see Leap come into, like how their team changes in terms of like game 1 versus game 2. We do have a spec link, so I'm going to be pulling that up in just a second. I also am really interested in watching Merlin guy play with their team. There were Merlin's beards towards the end of last season. They were waitlisted and they came in and they actually did a really awesome job. Like, I want to commend these guys because they came in at the end of last season and they played like a bunch of games that they had to play, and they made a really like serious effort to make up all the games, and they did a really good job just communicating with other people and trying to pull it off. So I'm glad that they're here this time in the season to start. Looks like they are going to be our for drafts. We're going to go into it pretty soon. Just want to say thank you to Steve Soko and Zin Money for the follows. Thank you guys. Welcome to the LBLCS.
So we're going to be going into this draft. I wonder, what are they going to take away from first pick? So we have the bans going on. Let's see what the first ban is from Bingus Flingus.
Oh, Bingus Flingus is actually blue side. I got to switch this up right here. There we go. It's going to be
All
the
right.
Asol.
It is going to be the Asol. Now, here's the interesting about the Asol is we'll wait till the lock goes in to see if they do commit to this. The Asol has been going through some changes. Oh, Serenity left on the right. Immediate Malzahar ban. They do not want them to pull that out. Bingus Flingus, Christian has been huge on this Malzahar in solo queue.
I always find this really interesting when you see teams. There's like two ideas of psychology when you're banning things. Like, you're holding it to talk about with your team. Okay, if they do this, what are we going to do? How are we going to react to this? But when you show the ban like this, they're showing Malphite for such a long time. If this is what they lock in, Serenity Esports has had time to talk about, okay, well, that's being taken off the table. So now we're talking about it. And you see this ban, boom, done.
Yeah.
No time for Bingus
No
Flingus to
time
think. Yeah, no time
That's
to think.
gonna be another Lucian ban. Now that is a really strong character for wildcard here. That's
Yep.
gonna be a huge takeaway from him.
Yeah, that's more favorite ADC down there in the bot lane.
And we get the Jarvan hover.
It makes sense to me. It's a super strong pick right now. Ooh, if he can play it, does play it.
Looks like Serenity let them red. Just those bans, just one after another after another. They were ready. They knew what they wanted to get out of this game.
That team had it typed out, and they were like, this is what we're going to do. Gap Topsy, what's going on, dude? Welcome back.
Serenity left on red, taking out those bot lane bans, gonna force Bingus Flingus into an early pick for bot lane. They're showing the Vayne. Will it go through? Will they switch up last second? They go with the Vayne. Oh. Someone's gonna be real happy about that pick. We got the Gragas coming in and the Nautilus.
Yeah, this seems like they weren't interrupted by the bans from earlier. They were kind of expecting those three, or it's not messing up what they want to do. They really quickly lock Nautilus, really quickly lock Gragas. Boom, boom, we're in. Karma now being hovered for Bingus Flingus.
They had the Rakan taken out of them. Oh, we see the Maokai hover. They could be trying to counter the Gragas if they think the Gragas is going jungle. They're going between the two. Looks like it's going to be the Karma though. Let's see what they followed up with. Now they've eaten the Malzahar band. Will they pick the mid laner now, or do you think they're going to or do you think they're going to pick the jungle and just eat the bands mid and top?
If I've learned anything from LBLCS cats, it's whatever I say is going to be wrong. So I'm going to say they're going to pick that Maokai. Let's see if I'm right.
I don't know. They might switch the last second. They did hover at the last pick though, so I think they're going to go with it. They're going to use it against the Gragas. An immediate Kai'Sa pick. So that's going to be huge bot lane pressure from the Nautilus and Kai'Sa into the Vayne Karma. The Vayne Karma will have a little bit of poke, but Nautilus and Kai'Sa, when they get in, they go in strong.
Yes. We'll see how this changes as we kind of get some more of these bans now. The Vi being taken off the table.
So they take out the Vi. Now the Vi can go in other roles. They may think that the Maokai is going top lane. Take out the Vi to add to that pressure that can come in from that top jungle duo.
I think they're going to take away things that is going to counter what they want. Like the Maokai already has point and click CC with the W. Looking at the Vi also has their ult, so they don't want to deal with that because this Maokai is pretty good flex right here.
It is.
And there's the Ornn that their top laner plays a lot of bingo on a lot of that Ornn up there.
So what's Bingus going to bend? I mean, they've only touched the ASO from mid lane. Will they try and get anything else from the enemy mid laner? Or do you think they're going to focus those bans top lane? And it looks like they're going to look at top lane. They're going to ban the Mordekaiser. So now they're left on red. They're in a predicament. They have to give mid or top, and then leave the other one for counter pick. Let's see.
Yeah, they could end up going with the flex too. They could do something that they could flex both lanes. I'm thinking that they give it to Foolish Sucker. Yeah, they're gonna give it the full counter here to Foolish Sucker. Drop that Kled up in the top.
They give him the Kled top. So now Bingus Flingus has a counter pick for top lane if the Maokai is going to go jungle. We don't know for sure.
I think that they're kind of waiting to see, okay, what is going to be the top lane? Can Maokai deal with Kled? Do they want to throw it up there? Or do they want still on something more aggressive, maybe, depending on what they've got here? They've got a really beefy, like they've got 3 beefy boys protecting this Kai'Sa. Gragas, Nautilus, Kled. It looks like Braum is going to be locked in. So that Karma, right, now shifting into a solo lane. It was probably already there to begin with, but now we know it for sure with Braum being locked in.
So we know Braum is going to be bot lane with the Vayne. That's going to help against the Nautilus Kai'Sa engage. And it's going to help a little bit with the Gragas if he can get in front of that ulti and shield that. Now they pick, it looks like they're going to hover the Victor.
So Karma top.
It goes through.
Karma top, so, Maokai in the jungle with the Braum bottom. With Vayne, this is a really protected Vayne comp. Like, this is built around sustaining Vayne.
So now, Vayne is really good into this too. They have the Gragas, they have the Nautilus, they have the Kled, who's probably going to go a little bit bruiser. What does Serenity left on red need to pick here to secure that they're going to win this game?
Aggression, aggression, aggression. You need to blow it up. You need point and click. And the Syndra, I think, does all of those things. Kill Vayne, win game, just like the last of the gate saying. And I think Syndra's a really good pick to do it. Although, Braum Shield's going to mess it up. Karma Shield's going to mess it up. So you got to be really on top of it. Relics, thank you for the follow, my dude. Welcome to the LBLCS. Just a minute ago.
So, they have the counter pick for Syndra into Victor. They have the early aggression from Kai'Sa Nautilus bot lane, and they have the Kled. It looks like Serenity left on red might be looking for an early game pressured match.
This is all about Serenity's ability to set a tempo, right? When I'm looking at these two comps, I'm looking at, can Gragas set a tempo? Can they create some kills across the map for this Kled on this Karma? Can they get this Kai'Sa start to be fed with the Nautilus Gragas like perma CC? Are they going to look to try to find an invade early to create those early leads? These are things that you got to be thinking about, because if you can't get on this Vayne in these team fights and you're even in gold around the 20-25 minute mark, Vayne is going to eat you guys alive if you can't get on her. But they do have the tools to. It's just all about the execution at this point.
For sure, for sure. I mean, you have the engage of Kled ulting with the follow from Gragas ult and the follow-up engage from Nautilus Q to get the pick. They're a huge pick comp here. They're looking for early game skirmishes on Serenity left and right side. They need the early game skirmishes. They need the early game drags. They need to apply this pressure on Bingus Flingus. Because if they go an even game, Victor's going to scale. Vayne's going to get huge.
Yeah.
Karma's going to build tank into this Kled and just never die.
Yeah.
Serenity left and right is being pressured here to make these plays.
And they have the tools too. So when I'm looking at these, I'm thinking, okay, not necessarily star players, but the player to watch that is going to make the biggest difference in team fights or in the game for me. I'm looking at the Merlin guy who's on this Braum. If Braum does a really good job with shield timings, with protecting his carries, this game's going to be massively, massively different, especially if you're blocking Gragas ultimates or if you're blocking Syndra ultimates with what you have. The other thing I'm looking at is Gragas setting a tempo. Like, if Gragas can get those ultimates off or can find the angles or can get the early ganks, I think those two players in this game are going to be super impactful.
I agree. I think what we need to pay attention to is how does this Kai'Sa Nautilus, how do these players push on them? We know Serenity left and red has huge pressure in the bot lane in their previous matches. This is why they've gone 1-2 in every series. They put up a fight bot lane and they apply that pressure.
Yeah, Buggo is a short name. You're right. I'm a really short guy. I'm not that tall. You got me. You figured me out. You cracked the code. Sammy 2 slap.
So they put their heavy carry. Bingus Flingus has wild card on that Vayne carry.
Mm-hmm.
He was rated #1 in the rankings for the division of commercial.
That's fucking true. That's true.
The real question is going to be, will he be able to pop off? All he needs on Vayne is just a little bit of time or a really good pick. So, we know it's going to be Karma against the Kled top lane. Kled is a really interesting pick here. It's a really good pick, I think, into the Karma. Because if Kled is able to get on top of Karma and burst her down before she can just peel her way out, he may be able to get some solo kills top lane. But if Karma is able to stay to that pressure, stay to that position where she can just stay back, poke with ult Q, it might be hard for the Kled to really engage. It's going to be a really interesting laning phase.
Yeah, I'm also interested in how fast these players on Serenity, now that we're on a 3-minute delay right now, so we are waiting for this game to start, and hopefully Schmeckel gets that the Schmeckel bet gets started up soon by Mighty. If not, I'll start it up myself. But you can itemize really heavy MR on these bigger guys like the Kled, like Gragas, like Nautilus. You can be going really heavy in that MR and be looking for Vayne in those fights because Vayne's going to be doing true damage mostly anyways. With your auto attacks, that W passive, find her, kill her, and then you're ridiculously tanky against the entire rest of the team, right? Victor, Maokai, Karma, all going to be dishing out a lot of magic damage to you guys. So I want to see how the itemization changes for Serenity and for Victor. Like, is he going to go more of a Leandry's type build and try to just chew these guys down, or is he going to say, hey, I'm back up? If Vayne goes down, I'm back up to literally blow up Syndra, to blow up Kai'Sa. If I can get 1 or 2 abilities off on them, I can take him down. Go the Ludens. I know chat, no matter what, will not agree with a Victor build, but just see which way he does choose to go.
I think, realistically, I mean, they're against so many tanks and so many bruisers. I can't imagine a time when Victor's going to be building Luden's Echo. I mean, yeah, if he picks off the Kai'Sa, but he's got to worry about the Kled, he's got to worry about the Gragas, and Gragas this patch has been huge on damage. His Q will just pop you in an instant.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting. I think Stilt is going to be looking for control in these bushes with his plants. I think what Stilt really needs to do is to just start these fights for Wildcard and for Bingo to go in and for Chris to follow it up. Stilt is going to be a huge playmaker in these team fights for this game. I'm ulti to start these fights and to put Bingus Flingus in the position to win these fights.
Yeah, it's all about setup here, right? And when we talk about setup too, with making sure that you are in the right spots, especially if you're one of these carries, especially if you're going to have a target on your back. I'm going to start up the prediction right now for us, guys. So this is game 1. We're going to have Bingus, Flingus on the blue side, and on the red side, we've got Serenity. Oh my god, as soon as I said I would do it, it got started. I don't have to even do it, boys. Bingus and left on red. Left on red is on the red side, but they're not on the left side, just to be clear.
Just to be clear, guys. All right, we got 15 seconds until this game starts. Who do you think Serenity left and right is going to look for this early level 1?
I would definitely look for it. Brahm's scary and dangerous, but if you can get somebody hooked, right? If you're starting Dredgeline, you get somebody hooked, you get isolated early Q from Kai'San to somebody, you just have a lot of like follow-up good damage out of the rest of your team. You can blow them up, and they don't necessarily have the ability to hurt you that much early, right? Brahm's the most dangerous level 1 champion that they've got.
100%. So we're gonna be hopping into this game. I want to see if they're gonna go bot lane for this early game level 1, or maybe they'll go top lane for some early pressure in the top jungle.
Yeah, usually you see what depend. Red side will go bottom to that tri-bush, and blue side will go top to the tri-bush, right? Cross map, usually looking for that. We could see some mid tuck. We could see them just walk in and try to get early pressure with vision, try to understand where they're going to be going, and then they can try to set up Gragas tempo from there. So there's a couple different ways they could choose to invade, and they might just 5-point. Neither of these teams have won a series. They might be like, let's not mess it up early. Let's not make a mistake. Let's not blow summoners and not get anything out of it. Let's play calm and trust that we have a game plan going into it.
It'll be interesting. See, I think they're going to play super aggressive. I think they need to go in this aggressively. They need to take this while they have the chance. Because if they lose this game 1, it ruins their momentum to follow up on game 2. Will these teams do it? I think they can, but it's a matter of having that momentum going into this. I think they need to start this game off strong.
My opinion on Selenium left on red is that they know they are going to game 3 no matter what. They always do. So if you lose this game, you know game 2's locked in the bag. You've got it. No worries. You're going to go to a game 3. But we're in game 1 right now, and we're probably stuck. You're probably stuck right with me, right at the 0-second mark.
I am. I'm waiting for it to move.
Yep, it'll move in a little bit. While we've got you here, guys, I just want to remind you to go down to your local beer shop, grab yourself an ice-cold Coriander, the official beverage of the LBLCS. Coriander beer, splash into the beast. All right, looks like we are going now. 6 seconds, 7 seconds, 8 for me. You can always click on your thing if you need to. Now,
I'm on 9, 10, 11. I'm in.
You're a second behind me, but that's actually perfect because I'll always cut you off when the fights start. And we do see pings being just thrown out immediately.
Now it looks like Serenity left and right is all going bot lane. Bingus, Flingus a little bit split off. They're going to check all the different areas, but Serenity left and right is looking for that aggro level 1. Let's see if they're able to pull something off here.
Yeah, and they are stacking really well. This isn't really a 5-point because they actually have 2 people in the bush right here. But here comes Karzer looking for it. They're going to ward. Are they going to ward in time? They're actually going to find him right here. Are they going to try to go super aggressive? The dredge line is going to come out. It's going to connect onto him, and a lot of damage. Merlin guy has to flash, but he stays alive. They burn that first summoner. They ping it out, right? This is big for momentum. They burn a summoner spell and don't waste anything.
That's huge momentum. They got the summoner out of Merlin. Now that allows them to have early game pressure on the bot lane. Will they take advantage of this? Will they look for a level 3 gank?
Minions have spawned.
Yeah, they might, but we do see they're around that blue side. So they're going to be getting that blue buff first to Gragas, which means he likely full clears and then goes top, but we will see if he decides to do something a little bit different.
And they did get that ward inside that tri-bush. So they'll know which way this Vayne and this Braum are pathing.
Yep.
They'll know if they can go early level 1, because right now, iNegate and Karzer, they know that Flash is out. Will they look for the early fights here? With or without Ufi coming in to help them?
Well, I know one thing. Wildcard, probably one of the better mechanical players on Bingus Flingus. If you're going to go aggressive, you need to push for that early level 2, because he might be able to just straight up outplay you early on in the game. You need that level advantage. You need to be able to just crush him into submission, because he's the one that has thumbs up.
Let's see. iNegate is pushing up far. They're looking for these poke points. Ball Dragon getting his CS, but the Karma just positioning perfectly, keeping this Kled away from them as much as possible.
Yeah, and it looks like they are going to hit just one more melee minion, and these guys will be level 2 first down there. And they do hit it first. It looks like they might be going in right here. It hits. Oh my god, the dredge line's all over him. The exhaust has to come out. Merlin guy trying to keep him alive. He flashes away. Karzer now just beating on Merlin guy. All summoners used down here in the bot lane for Bingus Flingus, and they're chased underneath tower.
They don't even need their jungler to make these engages. They know that Flash is out of that Braum. Oh, what's going on mid?
Just a little
Little bit of
poke.
poke.
Little love tap out of you, Woofy.
All right, they're pinging it. They know the enemy jungler is in the mid lane. Bot lane, they're going to starve them out. They are not going to let Wildcard get out of his turret. They know he's low. They know he doesn't have any sums. There's no reason.
Yeah, they're looking to bounce this right here. They actually really want the wave to be in a totally different place. Because when it's right here, it's actually really dangerous. They do have enough vision to be aggressive right here. They have it in the tri-bush. They have it in the river. And they don't see Maokai. So they know they can be really aggressive, but it's just such an awkward frozen lane.
It is. It's hard for them to really take out this Vayne and take out this Braum despite them having no summers left. But they have the pressure mid lane. They have the pressure bot lane. This will, well, more than likely set them up for an early Drake.
Yeah, they could easily look for this early Drake here in just a minute 20.
They're keeping the pressure mid. You can see Foolish shoving in this lane, using all of his Qs on these back minions.
Dredge line down in the bot lane.
We're getting a lot of poke, a lot of fighting early.
Yeah, but credit to Wildcard still really keeping up with CS. It's pretty much even if he's able to collect most of this wave right here. And a fight up here in the top lane. Uwufi looks like he is going to go in. Bingo's in a lot of trouble. Early flash, but he actually dodges the E. Uwufi now trying to take him out, but the red buffs are not going to be enough of a slow. Bingo actually able to walk out of there.
We have a TP coming in from Foolish. They really want to keep this pressure on the bot side of the map, and that was a huge play in the top side.
Yeah.
But this allows Uwufi to pressure in this jungle. Look for this Maokai and see if he can make something happen.
Yeah, still actually going to go in right here in the mid lane. Foolish Sucker taking a lot of damage. He knows Uwufi is nearby, but he's almost out of life right now. Only down to 300. Now they're going to focus on to Maokai, who has to run away. Still dropping super low. Gets stunned up by Foolish Sucker, who's also getting poked back by Christensen. Christensen a little bit too aggressive right now. He's going for a kill, but is it going to be too much as he takes so much damage? The fully charged barrel's going to do a lot. A W hit as well. The flash forward. He has to flash away. 3 flashes being dropped right there. It's a flash fiesta.
That is all flashes down on Bingus Flingus. They are down on summoner spells. These huge early game plays from Serenity left on red is just it's bringing them dry.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be able to pressure for this dragon fight.
Oh my god, hold your breath for a second and Uwufi's gonna find you. Good flash forward from him.
Well, we got another fight top lane. What will we get out of it?
Just a couple slaps. A little love taps from him.
Now Uwufi did have to burn both his flash, and he used the smite on the camp. He won't have smite for this dragon. It's gonna come up in a little bit.
Yeah, they're gonna go for this dragon right here.
They have the mid lane pressure. They have the bot lane pushed in.
But they don't have the intel. I think Brahm's gonna spot it out right now, but they're not gonna have the ability to converge on it. Although Stilt is in the area. Directed cam does pan back down there, and it does. It actually is pretty low, but they don't. Oh, that was so ridiculously close out of that Merlin guy, dude. That was
too close for comfort. The Serenity has the first kill, has the first Drake. They have what they need for this game, which is the early game pressure.
Flash forward, dredge line, finds it all the way. Wildcard in a lot of trouble, but a really good shield's gonna protect him. Negate it, takes so much damage from the tower. Can they find the CC? Stilt in the area. They missed that Q. Flashing forward, trying to find more as Uwufi makes his way to the bot lane. Wildcard might be in some trouble. Dredge line's gonna be back up in just a second. Can they find the damage on a Stilt? Can they find the damage on a Merlin guy? They're gonna hook Stilt. They're gonna take him down.
That was incredible playing by Merlin, saving his ADC, saving Wildcard there. They got a little bit too aggressive, still came in, they thought they had it, but they did not have the vision on Uwufi. They just did not know that he was coming in from behind. Uwufi getting behind there, getting the pick onto Stilt, getting that second kill.
Yeah.
He's got huge pressure. I mean, granted, it's Maokai. He can definitely bounce back in this game, but Uwufi has the early game pressure. He's got the Dark Seal out of that base.
Oh, I love that aggression.
He wants to push this aggression further.
And that's something we talked about too. We're like, okay, it was like, who are the two big people? Okay, it is the Merlin guy, and it is Uwufi, because Uwufi's got to set a tempo that pushes his team forward. And we were just talking about, he's doing that, right? He's succeeding on that.
He's gotten a flash of every lane so far.
Yeah.
With all of his ganks. He got a flash out of Bingo, he got a flash out of Kristen, he got a flash out of Merlin guy.
Yep.
Wildcard's flash is just coming back now.
Yeah, definitely a really big threat here, as these guys are going to start to take just vision control of this bot mid side because of the advantages they're having. CS leading the top lane for them, CS leading the bot lane for them. Now, Christensen holding his own here in the mid lane, did not get a kill on a Foolish Sucka, and has been out of mana for a long time here, but still doing a really good job just keeping pace with the CS, still in the area, going to clear out some wards.
It'll be interesting to see if Christian backs here to try and get more mana and let Still hold the lane for him. But it looks like Still might be looking a little bit lower. I think what needs to happen here is Christian needs to back here, either let the lane come into him or let Still hold the lane. But Still is looking bot lane. They're looking for pressure for this vision. They know they don't want to give up any more pressure in this bot side. They need to give Wildcard a little bit of room to breathe here. He's a little bit behind on CS, but he's still staying in the lane. He's staying strong. He hasn't dropped to death yet. He got the early game boost, so he has more lane sustain.
Yep. Yeah, this is like, at this point right here, I'm thinking, okay, what am I saying? Oh, Christensen's taking a lot of damage. That ultimate's not going to finish him off, though. I'm thinking, okay, we need to mitigate our losses right now and just try to keep up. Level 6 Woofy looking for him. Doesn't have his sums up. Can't do anything. He finds him. He takes him down. But still might actually be able to hurt him back right here. Still has his ultimate's going to drop to create the distance. But look at that speed that he gets right here. He's trying to chase him down. A lot of damage onto him. Can't find the W in time. Here comes Foolish Sucker trying to protect. Oh, really good W right there to dodge everything. Wildcard is now in it. Are they going to find it onto Foolish Sucker? They should. Stunned right there. Gets knocked into the wall, and Wildcard's going to pick up a really big kill.
That just shows Wildcard is never down and out. He may have been pressured early game. He may have had some takeaway from him, but he is not out of the fight. Bot lane roamed up beautifully for that play.
Yeah.
Merlin getting the engage. Still making the play happen, even though he's behind. He's 0-2, but he was not afraid to go and engage there for his ADC.
What's really good about that communication, too, is Victor's in the mid lane backing. Victor gets attacked. He says something. Maokai follows up and starts chasing it. And as soon as he's doing that, bot lane starts moving up. At the very start of that play, like, a lot of times you see, especially in, like, economy and commercial teams, the communication's not always there. They literally were like, okay, we're coming. Maokai said, come, we're on our way, we're going to make sure we catch this kill. They did a really good job.
That's going to be huge for Wildcard. That's going to give him the gold that he needs to bounce back in this game. He's going to get the Vampire Scepter on that back. He's going to come into the lane with a lot more sustainability than before.
Yep.
But it will be interesting because Ufi did get out of there. He still has his 2 stacks on Darkseal. He's starting to get a lot of damage.
Oh no, and he's loading it all up here in the top lane. Doesn't have an ultimate to drop, but absolutely scaring Bingo into oblivion.
That's really strong on Bingo. Yeah, Bingo took a big hit there. He still has TP. He still has Flash. Bingo knew he was not going down there.
Yeah, and there was no ult on that Gragas to make sure. Foolish Sucker taking a lot of damage, kind of getting chased out of lane right here.
Foolish Sucker did use his TP recently, so he's gonna try and stay in this lane. That is gonna be Serenity left and right looking for the rift here. They have Kled, they have Ufi, they have the pressure top lane. It looks like Still is bot side, or is going to be recalling here. More than likely going for that bot side pressure. Alright, they control the top side. Ufi grabs the Rift Herald. Will they...
Nice stun right there. Can they capitalize? The ultimate's going to go down. Has the flash. I saw him burn it on the side, but we weren't there for it. He had a really nice stun onto Woofy, who has to burn his flash as well, so we traded. I know that wasn't on the directed cam, so we didn't see it perfectly, but...
So they did get the Rift Herald. Where do you think they're going to be placing? Do you think they're going to be pushing in to push it mid?
Kato, I'm not talking about rugby here, okay, buddy? Sorry. I don't know where they're going to end up using it. All I know is that Woofy's the perfect person to have it on because he's the tempo setter. Because he's able to make a play, find it, and then capitalize. Although he is getting chased out right now by Still and Christensen.
They're chasing them out. They're pressuring them. And this bot lane with Wildcard and Merlin guy, they're pressuring this bot lane.
Yeah, this is dangerous because if Wildcard starts to really grow a lead, it's going to be really annoying to try to take this guy out. This is a really good mechanical player like we talked about.
Yeah, and with that push, they're going to gain control of this dragon. They know Ufi just either went to a jungle or they backed. They know mid lane's pushed in. Bot lane is starting to push back. They're going to take this Scuttle Crab. They're going to push the Vision. They're going to push the Maokai coverage with the plan.
Oh my god, they're looking for something. Here comes an ultimate. It's going to catch onto one of them, and Karzer is probably going to go back to the grave. See if he finds his way to the fountain in just a few seconds as Maokai is going to pick up that kill.
Beautiful play by Bingus Flingus. They pushed their pressure. They went for the pick. They knew if we take this pick out...
Oh my god! It's freaking Modelo time, and Woofy doing so much damage to those guys right now.
Ufi's showing. Listen, you may have taken my support, but you didn't take me out. I've got my Night Harvester. I've got my damage.
Yep. Good use of some stuff right there. Wildcard might be in a little bit of a pickle, though. Ultimate being dropped by Maokai. It's going to land on all of them. That means they're going to pick up that Drake. This is good. This is when you want to start coming back, right? You're really weak early game, but you're making plays together. You grab the second dragon. That means you're at least either stalling this out or setting a path for yourself to start winning this game.
That was a huge ultimate by Still. Just applying that pressure, making sure, yes, Ufi still can engage, but I'm not going to let him. I'm going to throw out my ulti. I'm going to keep them back. We're going to get this free Drake, and we're going to make sure that we can start setting a tempo for ourselves.
Bingo is able to dismount this Kled right here in the top lane.
Like I said, top lane is just can Balls the Dragon get in on this thing, get in on this Carmen. He can't. The Carmen just positions perfectly to keep him out of his range.
I knocked myself down a peg as well, Vader used choke, just so you know. I didn't want your windows yelling at you.
Balls the Dragon knocking low, but he's about to get Scarl back. Gonna give him a little more sustain in this lane. He does have the CS lead. Now we've got Ufi looking bot lane. Looks like he's trying to pressure. Beautiful plants by Stilth here. He's making sure that the Gragas can engage on his bot lane.
Yep. Guardian up. Christensen gonna get some vision cleared out for his buddy here. Stilt might make his way in.
So, you traded dragons. Serenity left on right got first. Bingus Flingus got second. Bingus Flingus does have the kill on their ADC. They have a kill on their Maokai, keeping him in the game. What do they look for in this next fight?
Listen, they're probably not looking for too much. They want to make plays around Dragon when it's coming up, because if they are able to stack a couple of Mountain Drakes here, they're gonna be able to create this really unkillable Vayne, this unkillable Victor that can do a lot of damage. And Herald's being dropped mid. It's being dropped pretty far out, and there's no place to take. Christensen can sack this, but he's actually in line for the ultimate. It's going to hit. Woofy's gonna follow. All the damage comes out, but he knocks him away from the dredge line, and a Woofy might go down to the tower. Got super close there.
He went for it. He wanted to land that ultimate on the other side of him, but just couldn't reach.
Yeah.
Sent him the wrong way. Accidentally saves him, but they do get the tower. They get the first tower down. They get the gold, and they're just gonna back out. Sure, they had to use a couple of subs, and they used, or not even any subs, but they used their flash on Karzer. They use the ultimate on Karzer. They use the ultimate on Gragas. They lose a little bit of pressure for the next fight, but they get that gold.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to say Luffy probably having a few too many Modelos right there because he was unable to really execute that perfectly, but now he's in another fight. Misses that E right there. Good use of the ultimate from Stilt. Blast Cone being used by Luffy, trying to find a Merlin guy on his way to save these guys, and so is Christensen. A lot of damage going to be coming out. A huge ultimate's going to connect onto two. Here comes Kled, though, trying to save everybody. Is Merlin guy going aggressive on that level 7 Braum. He finds Luffy. Christensen going forward. They find the shutdown. It goes onto Maokai again. Still now trying to zone everybody else off. Christensen using some damage over the wall. Karster might be in trouble, but it's Kled that's deep in this fight, trying to find him. These Karma shields are absolutely vital. Can they get the CC onto him? The dismount of Kled's gonna be really important as Karma's trying to do more damage. There goes Dredgeline, finding onto the Merlin guy. Now Boss the Dragon gonna have to back up, and it's really just a 1-for-1. Not even. It's a 1-for-0.
It's a 1-for-0. Bingus Flingus makes huge plays here. Yeah, the Greg is in their jungle. Yeah, Felucian comes behind him. But Merlin guy coming in clutch, coming in, landing that ultimate, getting that Felucian out of there, getting Ufu away from his jungler. And then they go in and they get the pick. Huge plays by Bingus Flingus. Yeah, Serenity left on right got that early game lead. Bingus Flingus just punching right back. They're saying, we're not out of this game.
Yeah, and I really like this right here. Out of both these junglers, both junglers have 100% kill participation. Just looking really, really clean and really effective for their team.
Now, thing to point out, the Victor did go Leandri's Anguish, and the Syndra went the Luden. So the Syndra is going to have a bit more burst. This Victor is going to be able to just burn down these tanks on Serenity left on red. So you got a little bit of action in the bot lane.
A lot of damage coming out. Wildcard gonna have to flash away right there. Gonna have to drop his own heal too. Trying to clear these minions now just to keep himself safe for a little bit longer. Hitting up Negate. Karster gonna hit this aggro right there though. Can he fight to finish him off? Dredgeline might mean he's down, but a huge flash away keeps him alive.
Beautiful, beautiful dive on Serenity left on right. They know, alright, Bingus Flingus is starting to get some pressure back. Let's apply pressure onto them. We know that their support is mid lane. We know that they're putting a lot of pressure on that top side. Let's make something happen. And they do just that. They pressure in, they make the dive on Vayne, and they put Wildcard a little bit behind. And they were able to do that because I Negate It has the Kraken Slayer over Wildcard, who only just got Shield Bow on that back. So they had the pressure, they had the items, and they executed the dive beautifully.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say, though, is there's no sums up for them now. They used all those sums to take him down underneath the tower. And now Dragon's up, and they're actually going to make a play right here, maybe.
Oh.
Foolish Sucker getting some damage onto him. Foolish Sucker could be in trouble. Gets CC'd, gets hit up, gets knocked around, and he might get taken down to a really good stun to keep him safe for a little bit longer, but he will be the target. Christensen picking up the kill. The score goes to 4-4, but Bingus Flingus want more, and their eyes are going to turn to Dragon.
I don't think Serenity left on red has a choice. They can't pressure there. They don't have. It looks like, you know, Ufi's going to go into enemy top jungle. Balls of Dragon going to go back to top lane, try and get some CS, try and get some more pressure. I mean, just beautiful execution on Bingus Flingus side. Sure, we lost our ADC, but we can still make plays. We can still make things happen. Ufi dropping the retail top. Looks like they're going to look for this top lane turret. They already have mid, and they're looking at top lane. That's going to go down with that Rift charge.
Yep.
Christian in bad spot here.
Oh my god. Taking so much damage, dropping really low. He should be going down here, but the flash forward, Merlin keeps his mid laner safe. Not the hero we deserve, but it is the hero we need. Merlin guy, always here for the rescue.
All the Dragon looking. Wildcard coming in from behind.
Yeah, looking for Luffy right here, but is going to get CC'd by Balsa Dragon. A lot of damage coming down. He's able to get him. The CC might be coming out onto him now. He's looking like he will be dismounted. He is, but he's doing a lot of damage back. He's not going to be able to do enough, though, as Vayne picks up that kill as well.
Bingus Flingus, they are communicating so well. They're getting their ADC, they're getting their support up top of the top side of the map. They're making plays happen. Yes, they lost the bot turret as well. So Serenity left on red, not a huge loss. They did get a tower onto their ADC, and it looks like they're going to take this bot lane, or this bot side jungle. But Bingus Flingus making these plays happen. They're getting gold onto their Vayne, which is exactly what they need for this mid to late game situations.
Okay, chat, I just changed my microphone, so you have to tell me if it is any different than it was before. Because I heard that you guys were complaining, but it's also the same mic I've been using, so just trying to figure it out. It's worse? That's remarkable.
I don't even hear a difference on my end.
Alright, we're gonna go even worse. Are you ready?
You put on the webcam.
On the webcam. Yeah, okay, we'll do that next. Are you ready, chat?
Alright, it looks like we have full mythics on the side of Serenity left on red. Everyone but the Braum on a mythic. Looks like we are getting to some of the power spikes. The Kaisa does have Kraken Slayer and second tier boots against the Vayne who has Shield Bow, which is currently on cooldown, and the second tier boots and the Rage Knife. Looks like the Syndra and the Victor are going to be bot side. We do know that Foolish has the TP advantage over Christian, so he could TP up there for this Baron fight. Looks like Balls of Dragon pressuring still out of this situation. They want to get this pressure for this Baron. They have the mid lane push. They have the top lane pushed.
Yeah.
They know Victor. They know that Victor's bot lane with the Syndra. Well, they're just gonna look for pressure. They're gonna see, can we get a pick? Can we look for this pressure to take this Baron? All right, I negate it. Pushing him mid, collecting his farm, getting him a little bit of a gold lead ahead of Wildcard. He knows Wildcard has a couple kills on him.
Yeah, all around this blast code, another fight coming out. Nice ultimate out of Luffy, trying to disengage right here. Braum's gonna connect actually onto two of them, and they are all gonna go all the way in. Cars are taking a lot of damage right now. Gets CC'd up, gets taken down. Oh no, he flashes away to safety. The 3-man stun out of Syndra's gonna keep everybody in danger. Everybody looks like they're going down, still almost drops out. Foolish Sucker's gonna find the kill onto him. And it's a 1-for-0 right now, but everybody's involved.
Looks like they're gonna back. They know their support is low. They know Ufi's only half health. They may look for another pick here. They're gonna see if does Wildcard and Bingo want to go too far. Balls of Dragon going in, trying to get a pick onto Bingo or Wildcard, but they're just gonna be pressured out from Christian. He has the wave clear. He has the pressure. The Braum's in. The Braum's reset. Now, Bingus Flingus, they lost their jungler, but they still have the pressure. Serenity left and red unable to make anything happen after that kill.
Here's what I'll say.
Both ways.
So when I'm looking at this game, I'm thinking like, okay, there's two big things happening. Thing one, the plays when it comes to team fighting, when it comes to just like physical brilliance, physical prowess in the game itself, the mechanical outplays, I'm giving it all hands down to Bingus Flingus. But the macro level out of these guys on Serenity is totally different. They've got 3 towers. They're looking to press for more. Yes, they're losing some of these team fights when it comes to these dragons. They're not able to get them. They're down 2-1. But, like, it's going to matter so much. If they can out-macro them, the team fights aren't going to matter. You need to start taking towers to win the game.
They have the towers, and they have the gold. They're still up by 3k. They have their Gragas on 2 items now. He just got back and secured the Shadow Flame, which is going to be huge against his Karma, and it's going to be huge against Merlin guy when he's putting up his shield. He's going to do extra damage. He wants to burst them down. Serenity left on red has a Ludens and a magic and a needlessly large rod on the Syndra. She's going to be looking for a burst item here. They're going to look to see if they can get a pick on this bot side.
Yeah,
they know.
The other thing too, though, is like, it's not just the Ludens, it's also the Night Harvester on the Gragas. It's also the fact that they are just straight gunning for the correct targets. Like, you have to be really wary of that, and I think so much, yes, there's so much on Vayne's shoulders, there's so much on Brahm's shoulders to be in the right spot to protect the right people. Dragon spawning, let's see if we are going to see a fight right here. The ultimate being dropped out of still. Christensen and Luffy going to do their own little fight over here. A little 1v1 that Luffy's going to walk away proud of, but they're regrouping up here at the top of the river.
They know that Maokai just ulted. They know that they can't be
Glad
pressured.
ulting going in, trying to find a lot of damage right here. Still getting hit up, getting taken down. He's trying to frontline, but he gets behind all of them. Oh my god, Luffy's gonna go all the way into 4-man knockup out of Karzer. The man's absolutely crazy as Kaiser's trying to clean up. Vayne trying to do the same thing. A nice flash away. He's gonna keep him alive for a little bit longer. It's a 1-for-1 so far. Merlin also gonna stay alive. They're able to change it to 2-for-1, but negate it. Can they find him? They find the stun. This Vayne's absolutely popping off. Foolish Sucker gonna find it. A 2-against-1 now. Wildcard trying to do the damage. Christensen and Wildcard here against Balsa Dragon. They should be able to finish it off, and they do. It's a 3-for-5 and a full body ace for Bingus Flingus.
Bingus Flingus is showing that they can apply pressure back. Yes, you've taken our towers. Yes, you may have the item lead, but we have our Vayne. We have our wild card. Wild card popping off on that fight, going up to 7-1-2. He's got the Rage Blade. He's got the Immortal Shield Bow. He's gonna stay alive during these fights. It's gonna be hard. Serenity left and right really has to focus down on this Vayne and get that Vayne out of these fights.
Yes, we talked about it too, right? They have the ability to do it, but this is like their big boy, right? Flingus's biggest boy is Wildcard. He's the scariest mother in the whole game, all right? You gotta get on him. This dude in that fight was so clean, rolling away from things. The Merlin guy kept him alive for as long as he could. Guardian procs. He had his Lock of the Iron Solari proc. He was literally just protecting the crap out of him. And if you don't have everybody gunning for it simultaneously, I mean, Karzer got a 4-man knockup, and Luffy followed it up, and they still could not take this guy down. You have to just put everything on the plate for him.
And it's really going to be a matter of they need to do this soon. They still have the 2k gold lead, but for how long? This Vayne is starting to pop off. This Victor is starting to build his burn. He's got the Shadow Flame back. He's got the Luden's,
Dredge
like
connecting on it still. They're just going to do a little bit of damage. I don't think they want to fight. I think and you know what, we're going to play Why is Buggle Wrong? And you're going to tell me if I am wrong or if I'm right, okay? Why is Buggle wrong? I think that Serenity needs to make plays before neutral objectives. They need to be splitting with this Kled.
They can't be splitting. They have to team fight. They need to use this Kled to flash E onto this Vayne, get her held down, and get her in. Because otherwise, how are they getting into this Vayne?
Yeah. How are they going to take this one down?
The only one who can split push is maybe the Syndra. Otherwise, the Kled needs to be their hard engage. It needs to be the Kled engage, followed by the Nautilus, followed by the Gragas.
Yeah, Gragas has to either find a huge flank first, or that, exactly what you just said, has to happen. Like, if you're not literally ulting with Gragas and popping that Vayne out of place, you're in trouble. But this could be a really good pick right here. Christensen in a lot of trouble down here. Foolish Sucker gonna stun him up, and here comes the ultimate. They take him down, and Syndra gets the kill.
Biggest thing is, they just saw 2 members of Serenity left and right is bot lane. They're going to start a fight here.
Yeah, Wildcard going absolutely crazy, doing so much damage onto Karzer, who's able to actually slink away a little bit. Wildcard gets exhausted. Look at that solo Q damage.
I negated. They're playing the vision game here. They know they have the vision in that choke point.
Yeah.
Flingus wants to look for a fight. Serenity left and right is going to say, no, not on our watch. They get the Syndra and the Kled back up topside, and they're going to be looking for a Baron play. They get the vision. They're looking. Ufu. He's looking. Ufi's looking.
Can't quite find it. They're walking all together. They're really good organization out of these guys as they're marching through the jungle, using that blast cone. Maokai trying to jump to safety.
They're getting the vision down, but they don't know that Maokai's up there. They have the TP coming in. Bingus Flingus is gonna look for a play here. Nakai starting to show.
Yeah, cars are getting poked out a little bit. They are going to get vision in the pit, and you know what? Serenity's saying, this is not worth it. We keep losing team fights, and now we've started a possible team fight area while Baron is targeting us, while we have Baron aggro. Don't do it. Let's back up. Let's reset. Let's find another pick again, maybe, and then look for the outnumbered team fight.
There's no reason for them to go to risky plays. They just got the lead back. They need to pull together. They have all the pressure in all the lanes. They have all the towers taken. They're saying, yes, we have nice control. Let's wait until we get a hard pick. We need to take down this Vayne if we're going to make any objective plays here.
And Wildcard trying to knock down first tower of the game here for Bingus Flingus. Is Foolish Sucka going to find a double stun, and Karster goes over the wall. Ultimate's being dropped. The W from Kaisa is not quite long enough. Wildcard is able to escape with his life, but that was a little risky.
They wanted that tower. Yes, they got it, but they almost got picked off for it. They get a little bit of gold back in their pockets. The game is back to a 3k gold lead. If I'm Bingus Flingus, I'm more than content. Ooh, there's Serenity left and right. It's gonna take that pressure and go for this Baron. Will Bingus Flingus be able to re-engage? They have the Karma bot side, the Victor's bot side as well. Will they get there in time?
Still throwing some stuff over the wall, trying to figure out exactly where that is. Is he getting over to Flash Steal? It's dropping super low. It's already taken down. And still is on the wrong side of hell right now, as he might have to back in that jungle.
Now, they have this Baron. Oh, played ulti in. They're looking for a pick here.
Bingo flashes. Now they're all the way underneath tower. Ufi looking for a Christensen. Gonna get stunned up. Gonna get taken down as Serenity left on red. Find 2 kills.
They take the Baron. They take the kills. They're going to get the pressure, and they want this dragon. This is exactly what Serenity left on red needs.
Yep.
They know. Listen, the Vayne's got gold. The Vayne's going to start popping off on us. We need to make plays while Vayne is not in position. That's exactly what they're doing. They're getting this pressure. They've got their jungle. They've got their top laner looking for this dragon. They're going to leave the pressure mid lane to make sure that Bingus Flingus cannot leave their base. They need to. They know that Bingus Flingus is on the soul point. They can't let them get this. If they get Mountain Soul, it's gonna be so hard.
Yeah,
for
that's
punch
truthfully their win con right here is Mountain Soul. Like, it would make it so hard to find the picks that they are finding and make it so hard to play with that burst style. And they are going to deny it. They are going to take their second dragon of the game while they have this Baron. This could be really impactful right here. They're all going to have a really big reset too, just looking at how much gold they have to spend. Almost everybody's got close to 2k.
We've got items coming in from each of the laners. You know, we have the Kled here. He's got 2 items.
Yep.
He's got the Mercury Treads. He's just got his Phage and his pickaxe. He's starting to go a little bit more damage. The big thing is, Ufi's got 4 stacks on his Dark Seal. He's starting to, you know, have this damage. He's got the Sword Boots. He's got the Magic Pen. He wants to do the damage. And right now, the only one with Magic Resist is going to be the Braum and the Maokai.
Yeah, and this is that thing that we talked about too, right? Like, I'm actually looking at somebody like Nautilus's build, and I'm a little bit worried about it. He's itemizing. He's got the Glacial Shroud that he's going a little bit more for this armor. I think you just MR stack here against this team and try to find Vayne. I know that she's very elusive, but when I'm looking at, okay, how should I really want to be building? I thought Gragas was going tank. He's going full, like, AP assassin, blow them all up, though.
Oh, looks like they're looking for a fight here.
Yeah, Merlin guy has to flash, has to drop his ultimate too. Can he stay alive for a little bit longer? But that pathing did not do him any good. He gets taken down. He'll be sent back to the fountain. Still going to try to hold on to this right now as the other 4 members from Bingus Flingus fly over to the mid lane.
They're going to lose top lane here. They've got Balls of Dragon pressuring in top. They're like, listen, we're going for picks, we're going for fights, and we're just going to let him split. He takes the tower. They're getting massive gold from this Baron play. They're up now. Almost, what is this, 8,000 gold? They're making
a lot of gold.
They're making this Baron worth it. They are making the plays. They're making the picks. They're using the Nautilus ult. They're using the Kled ult. They are making plays happen. Now, the Kled ult is back up. Will they look for a play? Will Bingus Flingus go a little bit too far out of their base, or will they just stay in and turtle down?
Can I just say, while we have a short lull, this is the only community where we normalize saying phrases like Bingus Flingus going for it. Like, who else has names like Bingus Flingus? These guys are absolutely wild ones. I want them to find this story. I want them to come back. I want to be cheering Bingus Flingus by the end of this. Can we find a way for them to do that? This dragon coming up in 2.5 is maybe a way if they can. They might be able to find an advantageous fight right here. Uh-oh. for some damage. Onto still. Ultimate's being dropped and a lot of damage is coming out. They're actually able to grab the targets they want, and there's a huge Nautilus ultimate's gonna knock up 3 into the air. Still doing a really good job frontlining. They're gonna try to trade for, oh my god, Merlin's guy's shield. Are you kidding me? The dude is absolutely crushing it with Braum this game. I'm banning Braum next game. Legit, if they're trying to play a super aggro ADC come late game, I'm taking this Braum away.
Now, Balls Dragon was able to take that inhib turret. He was able to make something out of that play boss side. So it's running left on red, not a complete loss. Yes, they did lose their support, but they're still up in this game. It's running left on red, huge pressure in this mid game. Now, the Vayne, the wild card on their team, on Bingus Flingus.
Yeah.
Will they be able to make something happen around it? Because that's what they need right now. They need a play around this wild card.
You know what? Balsa Dragon, kind of this unsung hero of Serenity this game. Just most CS in the game has been creating this super advantageous like game state for them. Yes, they can't win the 4v4, but Balsa's constantly winning the 1v1 because of the champion matchup, because of their ability to play, and they've taken so many towers this game. They've done such a good job split pushing and using that ultimate to set up plays, to find the picks. We saw the pick on the Victor before we saw them take Baron. We saw the backline dive into Vayne the time that she went down. So, like, it's really important to look at, like, okay, who's making these really big plays when they come in, and who's affecting the team fights when they're not even there.
For sure. Now, Bingus Flingus is going to push on a little bit of pressure. They know that the Baron is going to come up soon. They know the Dragon's going to come up soon. Will Bingus Flingus be able to start a play around this Vayne? They have the Maokai ult. They have the Braum engage. Merlin guy being huge with his ulti so far in this game. I think they're going to be able to make a play here. Question is, will they be able to hold Balsa Dragon off?
This vision is so important, knowing what you're going into, because this Gragas, this Syndra, they have the ability to burst. And if you're not together, if you're not grouped, right? Vayne trying to play basically around 3 supports here. 3 supports walking around with Vayne, trying to pump up wildcard. Good flash over the wall from Negate.
That's going to be a Vayne ult, though. Wildcard is not going to have this for this fight.
Still trying to find Luffy. They do. Merlin guy's gonna drop the ultimate, and they're just fully committing to this, but it looks like Kled is here, and here comes the unsung hero. Balsa trying to find everything with him. A 3-man knockup's gonna go absolutely crazy on these guys. They're able to find the first kill onto Maokai, but here comes Victor, absolutely crushing the damage. Carcer running for their life here as Balsa Dragon also on the retreat.
Now, they did take down Bingus Flingus' jungle. They do have the pressure to go for this dragon. The question is that can they pressure against this Victor? And it looks like they're able to push him out. It looks like they're going to be able to secure this dragon, putting them on soul point as well.
Yeah, this is a really intense game right here. 35 minutes in, and both teams have 3 dragons. Both teams looking really strong. Their win cons are both pretty clear now, too. It's like, hey, we're not trying to over-push this. Okay, are they going to find somebody who's back? Like they do! Oh my god, they're going to find Balsa Dragon! Your back timing just a little bit different than the rest of your team, and they're going to pick him off!
That's going to be huge pressure for Baron. That's a minute timer. Balsa Dragon is not going to be here for this fight. Even though he's got TP, he's just not going to be up in time. Biggest Lane is going to look directly for Baron. They know, we have the numbers. Now Maokai is coming back in. He's going to be a bit late, but I think that all they need to do is just set up pressure. Wait for your Maokai to come in, look for a pick, and make this Baron play happen.
Yeah, you've got Maokai running through the jungle. Wildcard's going to be able to absolutely roast this down, too. You've got your control ward in the pit. Karma's dropping the shield, so you're not losing too much life to this while it's going. Foolish Sucka going over the wall. Karcher also here. Luffy might try to go in, might try to pop that ultimate, might try to knock him away. Are they going to commit to this? They don't. Baron going over to the team. Bingus Flingus.
Bingus Flingus has been under tower for the last couple minutes with that Baron push, but they're still able to make this happen.
Yeah, and it all started with that proactive play. Merlin guy flashing over the wall. Over by Dragon. Catching Balsa Dragon before they finish their back, and them fully committing to that and turning it into something before Balsa spawned.
Huge plays on Bingus Flingus. This is going to put them back in the game. Yes, they're down by 5k, but the kills are tied. The Dragons are tied. All Bingus Flingus needs to do is push this game further. Remember, they've got the Vayne. The Vayne's on 8-1-3. Wildcard is going to do damage. If Serenity Left is unable to find this Vayne, the Vayne will kill. And they've also got the Victor. You try and engage, Victor ult's gonna burn you down.
Yeah, now. And this is a big burning. Chat loves talking about Victor builds. Full Metal, I'm not sure how many LBLCS streams you've watched, but whenever there's a Victor in the game, no matter what they build, Chat disagrees. Chat is having a field day with this build today. Leandry's in Lichbane. How are you feeling about it?
I'm loving it. I think it's exactly what Chris needs to burn down this Kled, burn down the Nautilus, get through the Gragas, and kill the enemy solo laners.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, they've got the pressure. All Victor needs to do is hold them off from his ADC. Looks like Kled's gonna ult in.
Yeah, also looking for something. Does find still a lot of damage now coming onto this Maokai. Does have some backup though. Wildcard in the area. Counselor also here. Fushaka and Woofy actually going around the backside. Are they? Oh my god, a 3-man stun. A flash over the wall. The ultimate's being dropped. Everybody's going scattered everywhere. Scattered the weak hits them, but here comes Morna Gate gonna drop ultimate into the backline. A nice movement right there. Victor trying to regrow the fight. Oh my god, Wildcard going invisible one too many times for these guys. They can't find a way to take him down. He's got too many supports around him. He's got too much protection. There it goes. Luffy finds the kill on him, and all of a sudden everything's changing though. Victor's joined the fight. He's taking 2 down in the back lane. Balsa Wood drop. Oh my goodness. Balsa Dragon turning into Balsa Wood as they get melted. And they're gonna look for more. Baron on him still.
Chris, he wasn't even the fight in the beginning. He was top lane all alone. Serenity left on red said, hey, let's engage now. Victor's not here. But they took too long. They just were not able to find the Vayne until it was too late. Yes, they were to get the Vayne at the end. By then, Chris got in the back line and just burned them all to a crisp.
Chris burning them to a crisp. They're able to just start taking more. They're going to look for the first inhib of the game right now. Now, these guys are spawning pretty soon. Negate just spawned. Karser coming up right now. Foolish in about 13. So, it should just be an inhib and then an out. They shouldn't be looking for too much more. And they actually do have to burn. Okay, they've got pressure.
They have the pressure. They have the gold. They're going to back. That's going to be another item for the support. That's going to be another item for the ADC. Vayne's getting close to full build, and Chris isn't far behind. Now,
Listen.
Dragon is coming up soon.
This is the moment.
Push pressure.
This Dragon's the moment, right? This is like the end-all, be-all right here. All right? This is for Soul Point. This is to make yourselves very hard to kill. Get you that extra shield, that extra team fight ability. Serenity's got the jump on the setup, but here comes the rest of this team walking in as 4. Maokai just a little bit behind them. Will be joining.
But it's gonna push out bot lane. He might look for an angle with his ultimate. He really needs to pick out this ADC or this Victor. Neither of them have flash for this fight.
Scatter the Weak hitting on one of them, but not gonna find any more. Is still marches forward with his team. Luffy just looking for
He's built out.
a lot of damage on it still right here. The ultimate's being dropped. They actually have to catch everybody as all the ultimates going down. Scatter the Weak doesn't hit anybody though. Victor's ultimate being dropped, gonna force these guys away as Luffy drops super low. Wildcard trying to chase him down, but Wildcard split from his team. Needs to make sure he's staying with the safety of the supports.
Bingus Flingus just got the pressure they needed for Dragon. How is Serenity left and right going to bounce back? They can't let them get this soul point. That's just going to be too tanky for them to be able to burst down. Serenity left and right not leaving. They want to re-engage on this. Syndra looking for a pick.
They can't get in there though. That's Soul. Uh-oh. Kled going in a little bit late here, but it looks like they are going to commit. Christensen is the target right here. Can they find it? Here comes Ticket going all the way in. Are they going to be able to find it? One more auto attack might be able to do it, but they cannot get that right there on the backside. It looks like everybody's going crazy onto that Vayne, but still just fighting 3 people all the way over here. They're able to find the kill on Syndra as well. Karser looks like they're the next target for Bingus. Flingus as they take their second of the team fight. Negate looks like they're going to be the third. Has to flash away. Balsa again turning into wood and getting chopped up by Bingus.
Chris is looking to end this. If they stop these backs, Chris will end this game alone.
The Karma teleport 20 feet away is my favorite play from the entire game. I don't care what you say. Sure, Victor looked to end it, but Karma making sure they can't back with the Braum, and they are going to break their duck. It's not a series win, but it is their very first game win for Bingus Flingus.
Huge game by Bingus Flingus. They played that exactly what they needed to do. Yes, Serenity left on right was able to get picks, but they held down. They got the soul, they played the long game, and they made the Vayne and the Victor work. Huge damage out of these carries.
Yeah, just look at these charts right here. 38,000 out of this Vayne, 30,000 out of this Victor. Gragas on the other side actually had second most damage in the game with almost 37,000, just about 1,500 behind this Vayne. I mean, this was a bloodbath of a series.
I have to tell you, I've got to give it to the Merlin guy. Those ults, those shields, were saving Wildcard. We're saving Chris. The Braum plays engage these fights. The Wildcard and Chris able to just shred them down from afar. Still ulting with the Maokai, they just couldn't get in.
Yeah, it's crazy looking at like highest KDA in the entire game, right? Was on the Merlin guy, had 11 for a KDA, 0-2 and 22. That is a stellar support performance. Like that is what you're looking for when you're looking at this. Still did a huge job tanking. Kled did the same thing for their team. Huge job tanking, trying to find those ways in. And it's just, you know what? I'm really excited for game 2. I'm really looking forward to it. I know we're going to start it up in just a little bit. We'll get the invite in just a minute. But man, oh man, do I like both these teams so much.
Serenity Left and Red went for the early game. They didn't necessarily. They did well. They got the first Drake. They got the pressure, and they got some kills on their ADC. They just weren't able to continue that momentum. They started giving up some pressure. What do you do with Serenity Left and Red going into this next game?
Well, two things, right? Two things we have to know. One, I'm Leap might be coming in. Right? We talked about that prior to game 1. We didn't see I'm Leap in the lineup. Everybody mentioned it. They said it's a possible sub for game 2. So I think I'm going to hold my breath until I know the lineup for sure, because that is going to change how I'm going to view it, right? I have ideas about Balsa. I have ideas, especially for the bot lane. We could probably talk about the bot lane a little bit, because that Vayne is trouble. That Vayne player is trouble. Wildcard is a wildcard. You need to make sure you have answers for it. And maybe just a little bit more of like clear lockdown. They got the Jarvan banned away, but that last game, something like a Jarvan that has 2 jumps, that can get all the way in, that can find an ADC, that can find somebody that's carrying these team fights, could be really important. The other thing is punishing cross-map extra supports. Like if you take something that can really punish that karma, maybe you can find a way to stop that Vayne from running crazy. Because we talked about the Braum. But really, that Vayne had 3 supports. They had a Maokai tank in front of them. They had a Braum blocking everything. And they had a Karma shielding in case anything slipped through the cracks. It's really hard because Vayne also goes invisible. So are you going to take away the supports, or are you going to take away what they just beat you on? Or are you not going to take away anything? You're just saying we're going to find answers for it. I'm Leap is in this lobby.
The real thing is that can they ban Wildcard out? They banned his Lucian. And he still went Vayne.
Yeah.
He hasn't played yet the entire season so far.
This is something, too, we talked about. You said, are they going to whip out stuff they haven't whipped out yet? Yeah, because they need to win, because neither of these teams have won a series. They want to find answers.
Serenity Left on Red does note they always play in a 3-game series. Will they end that streak here by taking game 2? Or they go to the 3-game series? I think Bingus Flingus has a good shot. I think Bingus Flingus can hold them down. But Serenity Left on Red has not lost a 3-game series. Or has not lost a
In
series
2
going
games.
2-0.
They have not lost. They have not lost in 2 games.
Series going 2 games. They've always made a 3-game series.
So statistically, if you're a Schmeckle better, you should be putting every single Schmeckle this next game on Serenity. You should be, because statistically, 100% of the time, they will go 3 games. And they've lost game 1.
It's just stats. I mean, listen. Stats don't lie.
Stats don't lie. Buggle might lie, but stats don't. And here's what Foolish Sucker said. I know you can see it on your screens back at home. You're probably watching it on your giant screen TV, or you're watching it on your phone in your car while you're driving 90 miles per hour on the freeway. It doesn't matter how you're watching the LBLCS, or that you're doing it illegally with a VPN from a different country. That's fine, okay? We are banned in 17 different European countries. But let me just tell you right now, however you're watching it, you can see on your screen clear as day. Leap is in, and Balsa is now the ADC. That's going to change how this entire draft goes.
This is the lineup that they used for their last series, and they did well on it. They're saying, listen, we had to get on Leap, we had to send Balsa at the top, let's go back to our basics, let's make this game work. Serenity Left on Red needs to take this game too. What will they do? What different approach will they take, knowing that Wildcard is going to be their hard to carry, knowing that Chris is burning them down? What's their approach to taking this game? Are they going to go early game? Or are they going to just say, hey, we can outscale you guys?
I'm not, by the law of the LBLCS, the only law, I am not allowed to tell you what I'm Leap's name was in Season 1. But let me tell you, if they get, and everybody in chat, don't say it, but if you know it, right? If they get that champion, that's the way. That's the way it happens because the man is superhuman on that champion and a couple others. Leap is a very, very aggressive player. Okay, but they're also calculated. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying Balsa was just a really big star player. Now they're in ADC. Maybe they can mitigate the storm of Wildcard a little bit better. But also, like, I'm scared of Leap. I'm just actually scared as a human being. If he's near me, I'm scared.
Well, he may leap on you, or he may crush you. We will see when these drafts come out if they're going to be pressuring this top side, or maybe they'll give him counter. Maybe they'll say, hey, listen, we'll throw whatever we want bot side, we'll play it safe, we won't give you lead, and we're going to put pressure on the top side.
Yeah.
That may be their answer for game 2. Because game 1, they applied the pressure bot side, top side was a stalemate, mid lane was a stalemate for most of it, and the game was played through bot side. But I want to see these teams putting the pressure on the top side. I want to see action up there. I want to see I'm going in for these kills on Bingo. Yes, Bingo can play these enchanters top side, but I'm Leap needs to find a way to get in and get these kills.
Yeah, and it looks like not too much changing in this draft right here, right? So if you don't have it, Full Metal, I'm gonna send it to you right now.
I don't.
That's the spec, and what we see right now is the exact same bans from Bingus Flingus. We usually see this from the team that wins, and they're actually first picking Vayne, it looks like. Right now, in this moment, the Maokai was the change in the ban for the side of Serenity. They said that Maokai on Stilt, too many problems. It was like he was standing on tilt, he was so tall, he was able to basically 3v1 us in the back without dying, was creating so much space for this Vayne to play their team fight. We got rid of it.
So right left on right sees the Vayne. They say, okay, we need hard engage. We need to get in on this Vayne and shut her down. What do they pick here? Let's see. Will they pick the jungle? Will they look for hard engage? Will they pick the bot lane and try and just counter this Vayne? Or they pick the blind top lane, knowing that nothing except for the Malphite was
I think you just pick team fight champions, in my opinion. Right here, you don't overthink it. You play, okay, where did we get beat last time and why did we get beat? We got beat by an overcrowded support team that did a hyper carry build. Let's pick team fight. Let's find our big AoE BS ultimates and just blow these guys out of the water. Gragas being locked in for Luffy. Obviously, they were crazy on it game 1.
They're crazy on it game 1. They're looking to be crazy on it game 2. What is going to go with it? They picked the Kaiser. They're going for the run back.
Yeah, different. It's on a different player this time too, though. You have to remember that. So Balsa going to be on that Kai'Sa this time. Might change in how they end up playing or how aggressive or not aggressive they are early on.
Now, Bingus Flingus knows that last game the triple supports worked for the Vayne. Will they go back and run it again, or will they switch things up? It looks like they're going to go for it again. They're going to pick the Karma.
Yeah, see if they're going to follow it up with another support as well. Now, here's the interesting thing about that Karma. That's still a flex depending on what's picked here.
It is. It is still a flex. It can go top or it can go support. Heck, it can go mid if they really wanted to. Let's see what the third pick is from Bingus Flingus. Will they go for another support as champion? What will they show on this pick, or will it be another flex? They've got 5 seconds left, and they're going to pick the Braum.
They are like, we won a game. They've played 6 games. That was their 7th game. They lost all 6 of their first games. They finally broke their duck. Game 7, they got a win on blue side with Vayne, Karma, Braum, and they're like, hey, what's still up? Vayne, Karma, Braum, run it back.
And why wouldn't they? Turning left and red, will they change things up, or will they just run the same comp? They do have different players, as you were saying. So the Kai'Sa is going to be on a different player. The Drag is on the same. It's going to be on a Luffy. It looks like they're going to go Thresh this time. Let's see what they banned. So they know that the Karma is more than likely going top. It could still go mid. Will they ban jungles here, or will they ban top laners? Or mid laners for that point?
I actually think that you've started to hit stilt. We saw Christensen can kind of play everything. If you were scared of the Victor last game, maybe get rid of it. I think that mid laners kind of have deeper pools that fill the same role. There's a lot of zoning AP mid laners that are just looking to do damage later. They are going to take away that Victor. I want to take away anything that is a giant beefy boy that still plays. I want to make sure I can get all the way to that backline. I want to make sure I can find Vayne in these fights.
Looks like they are going to opt to take out the Victor. They know the follow-up damage is just too much for them to go in and get this Vayne. What else are they going to take away? Are they going to go for a jungler like a Maokai, or they already took the Maokai? Will they go for a Sejuani ban? Will they go for a kindred band the kindred that can save and keep the Vayne alive. Looks like they're gonna go for our mid lane ban. They're gonna ban out the Akali.
This must be two things. This must be. They're saying, okay, we can't give full counter for Foolish Sucka because we want to give it to Leap. So let's take away some of the mid choices they have that is strong against what we want to play. Yone also, we saw that ban game 1. It's gonna be ban game 2 as well. So I'm expecting a mid lane pick. There's one pick I could see coming in that I can't say. There's one pick I could see being picked right here over everything else.
I'm interested because I was looking at Leaf's history. I don't think you'd want to blind it, but there is a champion that he has been playing. I'm curious if they bring it out or what they're gonna pick here. They did ban the mid lane twice, and it looks like he's gonna bring out the Nasus.
Oh boy! He's going crazy. I love this because Wither is so strong against Vayne. It is like the strongest point and click ability on Vayne other than a Malzahar ult. Like, you are like, oh, you can't have auto attack speed and you can't have movement speed. I'm going to find you. I'm going to crush you.
And they're also counting the late game. They're saying, hey, listen, you want to play late game and just play it safe with the Karma top? I'll just play Nasus.
Exactly.
I'm looking to
farm
stack.
lane. Free farm lane.
Now, it does look like Bingus Flingus is going to go with the Sejuani. They're saying, listen, we'll just lock you down. We're going to throw the ult out. We're going to lock you down with the Braum. We're going to hold you down with the Karma. And we're going to make sure the Vayne can execute you. Now, what do they go mid? It will be blind. They got banned out from the Malzahar. They got banned out from the Victor. They got banned out from the Akali. Where do they go blind to secure they can do more damage? Because right now, Karma's not doing much damage. Braum's not doing damage. Sejuani is mostly utility. They need damage, and it looks like they're going to go with Veigar.
And again, there's so many AP zoning mid laners. Veigar does the same thing Victor does. When you think about, okay, where were they so strong on blue side? The Dragon Pit from blue side, where you're from the blue side red jungle where you're trying to enter, right? That little spot, Victor's gravity field blocked it off. Now you have Veigar's cage to block it off. You still get to block off the same things to deny these guys entry from these team fights. So that Victor ban, while it got rid of something, they still found what it wants to do, I think. And I think that maybe they're able to take this. They're going to see, okay, I like this Anivia pick a lot, though.
Anivia is going to be able to look for hard pick. Because remember, Serenity Red doesn't have a hard engage like they had on Kled. So they needed something that they can look for picks. I think, they're going to look for the Gragas ult. They're going to look for the Thresh Q. They're going to look for the Anivia Q to get these picks. Realistically, they're just waiting for the Nasus to stack.
Yeah.
They have the wave clear. They have the poke. So they're going to look for the early game bot lane. I mean, you can try and gank the Karma top, but I can't see Nasus and Gragas really taking that unless they have a huge flank. So the pressure is going to be on bot lane with this Kai'Sa Thresh to try and shut down the Vayne early. And for the Anivia is just going to try and zone out this Veigar from stacking. It's going to wave clear like crazy once they reach level 6 and they have the Anivia ult. And it's their way of saying, can we just outscale you?
Yeah, so what I really like this time is that they've picked things that impact the game differently than last game. I really like Anivia wall that can really disturb the positioning of supports. Yes, Braum can still jump over the wall, get to that Vayne, but if Vayne is out of place and you can block her off, or if she goes too aggressive, you can lock her into one area. You can either, 1, separate her from the team so she can't be doing damage, or 2, pick her, find a kill on her before the rest of the team can help. Because Karma can't go over walls without a flash. This Veigar is going to be looking for cages and stuff, has to be playing further back or will get taken down. Sedge and Braum are the ones that can come over, and if you actually just block her out from the fight, she can't get over that wall without a flash as well. So you have the opportunity now from this mid lane, and I think we saw really good scatter the weeks out of Foolish Sucka in the first game, so I'm expecting them to be really good with that wall, understand like, okay, I got to break this team fight up so we can win it.
Serenity Left and Red really has to do one thing, and that is let the Nasus stack. Yes, they have Veigar. Yes, they have Vayne. But you don't want to be withered by a fully stacked Nasus. He's gonna walk up and just one-shot the Vayne.
Yeah.
Yes, Serenity Left and Red has a hard time getting to Vayne until they either get a pick with Anivia or Thresh. The Gragas can engage and try and separate them from their team, and then Nasus just goes, I'm just gonna get plus 12. Serenity Left and Red, I think, leave the top lane alone, pressure this bot lane, pressure this mid, try and put them behind, try and get the early game objectives, and then just hold. Just hold that lead, let the NASA stack, let the Anivia wave clear, and you'll get your picks. You'll get the pressure that you need to take down Bingus Flingus and make this a 3-game series.
Lastly, Gabe brings up a really good point. I don't know how Nasus is walking up to a Vayne through Braum, through Vigar, Cage, and Sedge. Two things. Nasus just has to get in Wither range to change the fight entirely. And the other thing is, Nasus doesn't have to show up to the fight to change the fight entirely. If Nasus is actually split pushing and Karma just straight up cannot deal with it, and they're smart about their warding and they're smart about their macro, we talked about what they were good at last game. Serenity was really good at that macro, especially early mid, right? And the team fighting just hands down went to Bingus Flingus. So these guys are kind of trading off. And maybe the idea with Nasus is not to use it to Wither, to not team fight. It's literally just like, hey, we're going to create a monster in the sideline. We're going to create the super boss, right? Raid boss going in the side lane. You need to send 2. If you send 2, we fight 4v3.
The big thing is that Bingus Flingus, they don't have wave clear. They have a Vigar who late game, yes, his W will do a decent amount of damage. But other than the Vigar, there's just no real wave clear on the side of Bingus Flingus. Straight left and right, if they just keep pressuring with the Anivia, with the Kaisa, they can just push Bingus Flingus back. And I think that's what Serenity left and right needs to do this game to take this and get a win here.
Yeah, again, this is such a risky thing because you're playing Vigar, Vayne, you don't do shit for a while. Like, you don't do anything. Gragas, Anivia, Thresh can all do things for a very long time. Like, Sejuani and Braum are decently strong early. They have really powerful stacking abilities that can CC somebody for a long time. But Vayne and Vigar don't do a lot of damage. Karma's medium, fine. But, like, Anivia, Gragas, Thresh at level 3 are absolutely nuts. And if they can set a tempo, we saw it in game 1. They started to get a gold lead. They ended up losing it because Vayne got a triple kill at one point around Dragon. They stop something like that from happening, and they just play they get a little bit of a tempo lead, keep it, and then use that Nasus to split. They've got the late game counter with Nasus, right? And they've got the really strong mid game with Gragas, Anivia, Kaisa, Thresh. Like, I think that, again, so much is on the shoulders of Gragas.
Gragas really needs to make these plays early, and I want to see him make plays fast. We need to see this pressure in so that the Vigar can't farm, so that the Vayne can't apply pressure with this Braum. Because we saw last game, we saw how powerful the Merlin guy is on this Braum.
Yeah.
And how Wildcard is so smooth with his follow-up damage. They need to find a way to pressure that bot lane down. They need to pressure them out of lane just like they did last game. Remember, early game, Bingus Flingus lost bot lane early game. They were pressured underneath that turret, and they couldn't do anything early game. They need to repeat that, and they need to keep that pressure throughout the whole game.
Yeah, we saw it in game 1. We got to see it again. And we also saw Carcer be really good with the Dredge Line on Nautilus. He's probably very good with Death Sentence on Thresh as well. It's a very similar ability. It's not quite as far, and it's not quite as quick. But there's a little bit more mind games to it. That gives Braum a little bit more time to reply to it, figure an answer out. But it also means, like, I think Thresh is a really good pick into Sejuani too. You can flay off of Kaisa and Anivia. If they can't get all the way to them, it can be a problem. You can reposition with your Lantern. You can get Gragas to come in from further away. Might be able to get up onto Vayne if you find the Death Sentence onto her as well. So you have this slightly more mobile support now on Carcer. And I think Carcer had a really good game. I'm wondering if this time they run it back, they look for an engage because they got the flash out of Merlin guy really early with an invade. And then they pressured bot lane so much, Vayne was down 20 CS to start. And it didn't turn around till later.
Serenity Left on Red has a play for early game that they know worked last time. Yes, they are a new comp, but this is the team that plays together and won the game last week.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't win the series, but they won the second game, and that's what they need to do again today. They need to win the second game, and they need to apply the pressure and keep it going. But Bingus Flingus shows, listen, we ran it back with the Karma, we ran it back with the Vayne, we ran it back with the Braum. We're comfortable on these picks, and we're ready to go to this game 2 with a huge punch. And we're about to go into this game 2 ready to go.
Yeah, we're loading in right now. I got to switch over one of the overlays, but you know what? I'm I'm really excited because one of these teams is going to win tonight, and we're going to see if we're going to go to a game 3. Stats are telling us we're going to, but looking at the Schmeckel betting, they're agreeing again. 60-40 here, left on red. Going to be 49K Schmeckles bet on these guys for this game. That is gnarly.
They know the stats. Chat knows the stats, but so does Bingus Flingus. Bingus Flingus knows that Serenity left on red is good at bringing it to a 3-game series. Can they just get the kills on Vayne, get stacks on the Vigar, and
Yep.
just keep the Gragas away from them? That's what Bingus Flingus needs to do to protect the Vayne, protect the Vigar, make the picks with Sejuani, and make these plays happen for them. They need a repeat of last game, and that's how Bingus Flingus is going to win this game.
Yeah. No, we got to remember too, right? When you add new players, it changes a lot, right? You've changed the position of Balsa, who I thought had a really good game on Kled, right? Their score didn't really indicate it as much, but they did have a really good game on Kled. They were trying to find answers. They were trying to have the split push. They were trying to create things. Okay, a lot of pings coming out right away. It looks like they're going to go for a topside invade this time. But now they're on the ADC. Are they going to be smart about their positioning? Are they going to be balls to the walls crazy? And how is Leap going to factor in? They're here for game 2. They're here. They're ready to play. They're on a really big scaling champion. If they can get a lead and facilitate it, it might be really important. They have not been pinged out yet. Bingo might be in trouble. Can they find the death? His flash forward's not going to be able to find it. They're going to trade Flash's top for support.
Remember, Karzar has Hextech Flash. He knows, yeah, I can use a flash here to force his flash out.
Yep.
I can make a play happen. Ufi drops the ward, says, I want to get early pressure. I want to see if Still is going to start top, if he's going to start bot.
Yep.
I want to know when he's rotating so we can make a play happen again. Yes, they got a flash out again in this early 1 minute, but now it's on Bingo. And Nasus did go the fleet footwork and ghost. Will I'm Leap be able to press something into Bingo and make a play happen early topside?
Definitely. Like, I just like the way Carcer looks for something for his team a lot. And I'd like that he had the wherewithal to be like, I'm definitely going to take X-Flash no matter what because I like to play aggressive, but I'm also going to take it because all of my flashes, except for maybe 1 or 2 last game, were aggressive. I definitely need to take it on Thresh this game, which means I can burn it early. I can trade 1 for 1 like you're saying. Both junglers going to start on their bot side here, getting a leash from their bot lane as well. Let's see if they get a level 2 early here.
Still is looking for a play. He went right bot lane. He's saying,
Oh my God.
I want to see if I can make a play here.
I wonder if they
They
saw
don't know.
that animation. They didn't.
Did they see the link? They don't have a ward here. Still is looking behind them.
Yeah, he's actually here. Could be a big waste of time or could prove to be super impactful. As Balsa now is in a lot of trouble. Has to flash forward. They're going to find the other one this time, though. Can they find the stun? They do. And a lot of damage is coming out onto Balsa right now. The death sentence does not connect underneath tower, but Carcer might have been able to find a kill, but did. Able to burn another summoner down there in the bot lane.
Flingus said, yeah, you pressured us bot lane last time, but we're not letting it happen again. We're going to put the pressure on you. We're going to force your flash off your ADC. We're going to force you back in this lane, and we're just going to hold you back. That forces Ufi up to the top side, but we do know that Bingo's flash is still down.
Karma's pushing in. Gragas knows there's no way Sedge can match me. She spent a lot of time going bot lane, right? Could see him. He's actually going to look mid right now. You saw ping mid lane. Here we go. A nice stun coming out onto him. Christensen has a good use of the cage right there, but Luffy trying to find the CC onto him. Cannot find the slow. Still is actually here, but he's a level down. He has to flash to his jungler.
Does force flash out of Christian, but he's still in lane. He's got the pressure. They weren't able to push too far because Still was still on the bot side from that early game. Still being there may have just saved Christian.
Yeah. Absolutely. Now onto the Raptors go Still and Karma just going down, dropping a ward because they know. Oh, a flash forward on the Merlin guy. Balsa might be in trouble right now. They know they have no flash, but here comes the Lantern trying to keep it safe for a little bit longer. They cannot stand on top of it to deny the entry back to the support.
That was heal from Balsa. So they are getting these sums down on this bot side. They're saying, listen, we will pressure you. We are comfortable on this Vayne. We are comfortable on the Braum, and we will make these plays.
Pickle Hater with the hunk alert claim. Pickle Hater, who is the hunk?
Let's find out. As Balsa is still pressuring in this bot side.
Luffy is the hunk, so no more Gragas, no more Luffy. It's just the hunk from now on. By the way, Bacon Mage, thank you for the follow.
Now, the Hunk is looking back mid. Will they make a play? He's flashing.
Let's see so much damage onto him, but oh my god, the Sun Under Tower is going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. No third tower strike is going to take him down, and the Hunk helps get his mid laner a kill.
He is making this Veigar pay for using his flash on the last engage. The Hunk just saying, listen, you can use your flash to save you once, but you can't use it twice. Now, bot lane is pressured on the sides running left on red. They have that pressure bot. They have that pressure mid. Ufi is still topside. Will they have to concede this to the side of Bingus Flingus?
Yeah, and Bingus Flingus actually clearing out bot side scuttle right here as Dragon's coming up pretty soon. He's going to be Infernal. Bingo, not looking for any aggressive trades, just looking to bother this Nasus a little bit. Kai'Sa has bought items, but here comes Stilt down to the bot lane. There's a Lantern being dropped. They're able to take it, stay safe for a little longer. A nice play from Karster's going to keep him safe. He's either going to look for the Death Sentence underneath tower. He's not.
Bingus Flingus looking constantly for these plays bot side, and Karster just like, no, I've got Lantern. I'm on Thresh. I'll keep my ADC safe. Bingus Flingus trying to apply pressure. They're going to look inside the bot jungle, but they have Anivia. They have Foolish coming down. Still looking. He's going to jump over to his jungle. He's saying, we don't need the dragon right now. We can just farm. This is what our team is for. We have the Veigar farming. I'm just going to farm. I'm not going to force any plays against their jungler. But now, Serenity left and right is going to have a little bit of pressure on this bot side now. Granted, Bingus Flingus did get the Scuttle Crab. So they have the vision, but it looks like the Hunk is going to start this dragon. They have Anivia coming down from mid lane. They have the bot lane pushing in. They have the pressure for this early Drake.
Yeah, and it should be there. We saw this in game 1-2. The first Drake of the game did go over, but still it's in the area. I don't think you're going to see him go for a steal, but they might. Leap trying to stop the back of Bingo and does.
Still has flash and he has jump. Will he go over for it?
He does go over for it. He doesn't grab it though. Gragas going to get it at 1 HP right there. Absolutely gnarly as Balsa now is in a huge amount of trouble. Huge flash over the wall. Wildcard is so slippery, so hard to catch. Can they keep him safe for a little bit longer? Flash forward. Look at the damage onto the Hunk. That's a double kill for Vayne. And this is exactly what happened in game 1.
Looks like it's still going. They're trying to catch out Foolish. They're going to force his flash. Karzer did not have Lantern again.
This Nasus is scary.
Bingus Flingus saying, listen, we will fight around our Vayne. We know that Wildcard is comfortable on this pick. We showed it last game, and we're ready to make it happen again this game. We let you have the dragon, but we had no problem engaging afterwards and getting these picks.
I got a job for you. Are you ready, Full Metal?
I'm ready.
Okay. You're going to be the Nasus stack checker. All right? It's 7 minutes into the game. Where are we at right now?
Right now, we are at... Oh, it won't show me, actually. I have to check here. I have to check here. Where is the checker?
Should be above Nasus's on the top
left. 93.
Nasus.
He's got 93 stacks right now.
93 stacks right now.
He's stacking fast.
Yeah.
He's up on farm. He's got the stacks going. Now, how many stacks does the Veigar have? The Veigar only has 37. So Nasus is saying, listen, I'm going to stack and I'm going to get strong. He built the Sheen. He is ready to just take this lane. Yes, Bingo is a safe pick.
This is that Lantern Wook, being dangerous. Merlin guy might be in some trouble. It's going to take some damage right there as the Hunk goes all the way in. Death Sentence connects, and they will clean this up and give it over to the Hunk. Still in the mid lane. Might be looking for Foolish Sucker because Christensen is here. Good CC.
They were unable to make a play in the mid lane. They did get the pressure bot lane. There isn't a dragon up. They do have Rift up. Will the Hunk look for a play up there now that he's gotten that pressure? They got the kill on the Braum. They have the pressure bot lane. They did get the kill on the Hunk, so he's got more gold now. He can back and he can sell, but he's full health and he's full mana. He can either farm here, or he can look for something on the top side. Looks like he's going to go for his farm in the bot lane, but we can still looking for a play here.
Still just scaring him off, making sure Vayne can farm underneath that tower. Gonna clear out some vision. As Braum's making his way down here too.
They're just protecting the Vayne. They're saying, listen, you got the pick on our support. There's no reason for us to let you take our Vayne. We have the bounty on her. She's getting her gold. She's got a CS lead right now, and she's gonna keep it going.
Yeah, just looking at the gold spread right here. I mean, she's got 500 up on this Kai'Sa. She's the one with all the gold on her team, but she's going in solo a little bit right here. Karser
Ooh.
might have been looking for something.
Balls of Dragon does have their heal back, and they have their flash. The Ignite is back on the Thresh. They can look for a play here, but still is trying to find these angles. Still opting to not use the ult yet, just applying pressure. Still is showing bot lane, however. What will the Hunk do about this? He's going to keep taking his farm because he knows that I'm Leap is stuck behind his tower right now, just farming.
Yep, and Karma getting really good wards down up there on the top lane. You can see it happening on your minimap. Now has some vision, trying to figure out when this Crocus is going to be coming in.
Leap up to 141 stacks right now. He's got a little bit of damage, especially with that Sheen. Leap is just gonna say, I'm just gonna keep stacking. You can pressure me all you want, but I'm just gonna keep stacking.
Yeah, a lot of damage from the Hunk onto these guys, but he's getting overrun now. 3 guys on him, flashes away, drops the ultimate's gonna knock back 2. Can Christensen chase him down? Blast Cone in the area, but there goes all the ultimates, and they're gonna finish him off.
That's gonna be the enemy jungler. They're gonna be able to pressure for Rift Herald here, which is
X
exactly
over the
what
wall,
we need.
looking for the death sentence. Carcer isn't gonna drop it.
They're trying to apply this. They know the Braum is up near mid. They know the Vayne is alone bot side, but it looks like they're gonna back off and go for a reset here. Sejuani taking this Rift Herald with the Karma and the mid laner and the support coming to help her. This is gonna be a free Rift Herald for them. This is gonna be good pressure for them to apply for the next straight that is coming up in less than a minute.
Yeah, gold still really even throughout the whole thing. We see a big CS difference in the mid lane. We see one growing in the jungle, almost 10 CS here for the Hunk over his counterpart. But, I mean, these games are going to get, this game's going to get so tricky come later because we saw how it developed. We saw really good macro out of Serenity in game 1. We saw really good team fighting out of these guys. Oh, here's a loop around right now. The Hunk dodging some stuff out. But does get CC. Foolish Sucker taking some damage right there. Still, it's going to find more. Foolish Sucker trying to find the damage on a Christensen who's actually almost out of mana. Has to run away here.
Bingus is unable to apply pressure, partially because Chris doesn't have mana, but he's backing. He's got TP. They can reapply pressure. They still have Stilt, who's got good health. He still has the Rift. We're going to see Chris TPing into mid. They're saying, hey, we can pressure this. We don't need to give you this pressure mid. We can pressure this ourselves. They've got the bot lane pressuring.
Leap going ghost. Danny Phantom on this mofo up here in the top lane. Bingo drops super low. They have to flash away. Their W's not going to finish and connect. But Summoner for Summoners, they drop Herald in the mid lane. The Hunk might be getting hit out right now. Does get hit up a little bit by Stilt. Still has their E and is just walking away. Oh my god, it's going to get CC'd though. A lot of CC dropping onto him.
Chris unable to pour out enough damage to make that ultimate worth it, but they do pressure the Gragas out and they're able to take this Drake. Bingus is doing exactly what they need to do, which is pressure the map and get the objectives. This is exactly what they did. They take the second Drake, and we're going to see what the soul is going to be in a few minutes. Looks like it's going to be
Yeah, Sentence connects, but they're not going to look for anything more. Almost 200 stacks now on this Nasus up in the top lane. Kind of going crazy.
Now, they have the pressure mid. They have the pressure bot. Karma's holding on top lane. They have the Moonstone. They're saying, listen, I'm just going to shield. I'm just going to heal with my W. And I'm just going to stay in this lane and keep pressuring you. The Nasus is up to 198 stacks. I'm leaping saying, listen, I'm comfortable with stacking. I have my Mercury treads. I'm not looking to necessarily fight. I'm looking to stack.
Yeah. There's a lot of late game champions in this one. Nasus, Stacks, Vayne gets really big. Vigard's here, but the Hunk's down in the bot lane. Merlin guy with a massive flash over the wall. But Bolsa says, I don't care. I'm going to try to find you guys either way. Destiny's clicks on a wild card. Huge. Cleansing to keep them safe for a little longer. They're going to find the shutdown. Gold Carson's going to be able to pick that one up. They can't find the Merlin guy, though.
But they are able to find the Vayne, and that is able to get the bounty onto their Thresh. It's not the best scenario, but it does get them pressure. They're gonna get Balsa, able to get plates, able to get this gold.
Yep.
They're going to have their Gragas pressure in the bot jungle. Saying, I'm just gonna protect them, get some free farm. The Hunk making plays happen. He's got his Night Harvester. He's got his magical footwear. He's ready to make plays happen. That's exactly what they're doing. Besides running left on red. Foolish trying to pressure Merlin guy off of the ward, but he's unable to do so with the Vigard there. Leap just stacking. He's getting poked out by the Karma, but he's just stacking. He's staying under turret.
Oh my god, the Hunk just pestering.
The Hunk just said, oh,
Uh-oh.
yeah, it's coming from Merlin. Merlin's
Yeah,
pushing in.
Merlin is a baller, dude. Merlin's just a level 6 support going in, level 8, level 7 over here. But here comes Stilt, now trying to find some damage onto Carcer. Look at how much damage they do have. That barrel's not going to find anybody. Drops Lantern on himself. Wildcard's going to pick up their 3rd kill of the game. And Leaf's going to go Super Saiyan up here in the top lane. Just going to use that Q to stack, though. He's saying, you can't come near me right now. I'm stacking.
Bingus Fling is saying, listen, you guys can pressure our tower, you can pressure our bot lane, but our Vayne is still getting kills, just like last game. This
Yeah.
is a 3-1-0 Vayne. Yes, Wildcard is down in CS, but they have the Vamp Scepter, they have the Noon Quiver, they have the Berserker Greaves. They have exactly the same situation as last game.
And I'm just going to say, they got Berserker Greaves to start the game. That was the first item they went back for and they got. And that says something about the type of player that Wildcard is. They are a Wildcard. They're going to try to move around. They're going to try to be uncatchable. They're going to try to outplay. We saw the flash over the wall with the Dragon Pin. We see a flash over the wall here from Stilt right there. Foolish are going to have to try to flash away. Can't quite get all the way away. So much damage is coming out. They're going to have to go into Agnivia right there. The ultimate being dropped on the Christensen, now dropping super low. Luffy, the Hunk trying to run for the hills. Can he get all the way away? They're going to turn their eyes back. Oh, a good CC right there onto Foolish Sucker. Look at this damage out of Stilt. The CC follows. There is so much setup, so much constant CC from Bingus Flingus.
Still saying, listen, you may ban my Maokai, but I have my Sejuani. I will hold you guys down for my carries. And that's exactly what he does for the Vygar. He holds the Anivia down, he pushes the Gragas back,
Yep.
and just keeps the Vygar able to stay away and poke. And Chris just is able to just pour into it. He's got the tier, he's got the Darksteel. I mean, this is a Vygar with already 360 bonus mana coming from the tier. He's got 2 stacks on the Darksteel now. That Vygar is going to get big. He's got the Rod of Ages, so he's tanky. He said, listen, I don't need burst. I just need to survive and build up this Rod. That's exactly what this Vygar is doing.
Yeah, I mean, look at the kill allocation for the side of Bingus Flingus. 2 kills onto that Vygar, 3 onto the Vayne. It's exactly what they want.
And they've got the 1k Goldie. They have this pressure.
Yeah.
Yes, Serenity Lothar was able to get the first tower like last game. Yes, they were able to get the early kill on the Gragas, but they've got a kill on the Thresh, and they have a kill on the Nivea, who is 2 stacks now under the Vygar on the Rod of Ages.
Yep.
Serenity Lothar needs to look to just protect the Nasus, let the Nasus back, and make a play here.
They're looking to make this Nasus huge. Flash is up, but it does not matter. Look how much damage this Nasus has. Oh my god, it might matter. They're deep underneath this tower. Can they trade a kill for a kill? Leap just has so much health sealed up.
Time Leap goes in and says, listen, I want this plus 12. I want these stacks, and that's exactly what I'm going to get. And he does it. Now, they have the pressure topside. Looks like Still is going in for a play on Foolish. He knows the egg is down.
He
They bring
walls
it-
himself into hell.
Chris ulting for the kill. That will be Chris's ult down for this. But Serenity Lothar just doesn't have the players up here. Their bot lane is still bot. They're starting to move up. But I don't think they're going to be able to get it there in time to pressure for this rift.
There's a magic number at 20 minutes. The magic number for a Nasus at 20 minutes is 400. If you're at 400, you have an absolutely crazy game. Alright, Leap
Looks like
getting
the
it
next piece
ulted right
close.
here. Uh-oh. There's reinforcements. Leap is going all the way to the tower. He's saying, I am gonna die.
Now, that is going to be a huge pick for Bingus Flingus that's going to get them the rift. Looks like Serenity Lothar saying, listen, we got Dragon.
Yep. We're trading.
We're making things happen. They get the Dragon. They may even be able to get the bot lane turret if they want as well. The Hunk tries to get something with his ultimate, tries to get some damage, but it does not look like he's able to make anything happen. Still, picking up the Rift Herald, getting that secured. Curious, where will they put it? Will they put it mid and get that pressure, or put it top? Serenity Lothar says, listen, this is exactly like last game. You guys got the early game of, you guys got the early Dragon, but we stack it just as well against you, and we get the tower.
So I actually think that you wait and see where the least amount of wave clear is, because we were talking about one of the weaknesses from Bingus Flingus. Like, they don't have the best wave clear here, and Foolish Sucka and Gragas and Kaisa all can clear waves pretty well. Uh-oh, speaking of which,
Foolish getting pressured inside into his turret. He's going to be forced to
he's
walk
alone.
away.
He's alone. He can't
He
do it.
doesn't have his egg. Foolish can't protect this.
Yeah, oh my god, going over the wall. Yuffie going absolutely crazy. The Hunk trying to find it. Can they find it? Huge CC onto Wildcard. Has to use the cleanse right there. A nice use of the wall. Those going to separate them. Death Sentence going to connect onto the Merlin guy. Can they find a play? They find it onto two of them. A lot of damage coming out from them to run for the hills because Wildcard's just way too strong.
They try and make a play. Ufu makes an incredible engage on the other side, but they just don't have the damage to follow up. Yes, they do have Balsa Dragon on the Kraken, but it's just not enough to penetrate against his Sejuani, against his Braum.
Uh-oh.
Ufu
The
going for
Hunk in a lot of trouble. Doesn't have the ultimate to drop. Is going to get taken down right here. Who can they give it to? They're going to try to give it to Wildcard, and they do.
That's going to be huge for Wildcard. This man already got 4-1-1. They have the Vigar on 3-1-0. They're getting their carries kills. They're doing exactly what they want to do.
Was alone in the top lane, farming. Uh-oh, Merlin guy in a lot of trouble right now, still trying to go in to block everything. A nice cage out of Christensen's gonna keep him alive for a little bit longer as Cursor starts dropping lower and lower. Wildcard in, gonna try to take this kill, and they do. That's their 5th kill of the game as Leap is just taking 3 towers in the top lane against this Karma.
I'm Leap is saying, listen, you guys can focus my team, but I will continue stacking, I will continue driving. He has a Divine Thunder.
Good cage, good cage. It's going to be tower down here in the bot lane. They're going to find some CC onto Foolish Sucker. Can they find it onto Balsa as well? Merlin guy going a little bit too deep. Might get taken down if they do. Balsa with a really good auto attack right there to make sure they pick up that kill.
They're trying to reduce the amount of damage they take to their towers. Yes, Bingus is able to take their bot lane and is able to apply that pressure. I'm Leap is trying to apply pressure back. The Hunk!
Oh, good flash from Christensen. Wow.
Christensen just barely gets out. Beautiful response time on that. Will they catch Stilt out though? They don't know Stilt's there. They're pushing in, but they have Nasus from behind. I'm Leap forces the flash out of Wildcard, forces the ult, forces the Q.
Doesn't want to mess around, just wants to try to find this Vigar, and they do find it, and they are going to crush them.
And that's going to be a 500 gold bounty over to the Anivia. That is going to be huge. That's going to get Foolish in this game.
I'm going to say right now to that boy Truth, who just sent a really important message in chat, can SLR make playoffs if they lose? Yes. SLR actually is in the best possible position to make playoffs because they've been losing all their games 2-1, and they're in commercial, which does have a wild card spot. So their win percentage super high for a team that's lost all their games. They need to win 2 series. Losing this series is not at all helpful because they really need to win 2, but they're in a really good position to find their way into playoffs, and they absolutely still can.
Flingus hasn't won a game yet, but they showed game 1 of the series that they can win games.
Yep.
If they win 2-0 here, it puts them in an even better spot.
Yep.
Both teams are fighting for a place for playoffs. They can still make it if they lose this series, but this series is huge for the momentum that it brings to the following weeks.
Yep.
The Hunk putting some poke down on the Sejuani, unable to really do that much damage because, I mean, Sejuani just has the MR. Still knows, listen, that Anivia is getting strong. The Gragas is going to be huge with the Night Harvester. Just build MR and tank it until it becomes late game. This is a huge dragon for Serenity left on red. They need this dragon to get to Soul Point. The Baron is also up, but Nasus is controlling it, keeping Chris and Stilt up there. I'm Leap might say, listen, I don't have TP, but I have pressure. I can just take this turret if you guys leave me here.
Yeah, this Nasus is really that Wincon still trying to find a way in to make this fight happen again. It's Wildcard surrounded by the 3 supports. We saw this be their MO in Game 1. It is still their MO in Game 2. The first 3 champions locked were the Vayne, the Braum, and the Karma. They want this, but Baron in the sights here for Serenity.
Biggest thing is did see that they leave the dragon. They're immediately walking up, but they are seen by the mid lane.
Yep.
And Serenity left on red does walk away, but they're not fully leaving. They're gonna see if they can get a pick here. They do have the Hunk leaving.
We're at 23 minutes, and the number of stacks that Nasus has is 444. This dude is big.
He is strong, and he's only going to get stronger. He's building armor, he's building resistance, he's building the MR, he's got the health.
Yep.
He's going to try and get as tanky as possible, and just say, listen, I'm going to let my Qs and my Divine Thunder do the work.
Uh-oh, Carson might be in
For a
trouble.
pick.
Death Sentence going to not be able to connect on him. He's able to jump away just in time as Stilt makes his way down here to the bot side river, where the dragon is going to be.
Get back here. Vigar's topside, Chris is topside, but he does have TP. He can make it back to the fight. Flingus can apply pressure here and make something happen, knowing the Vigar will take the turret and come right back.
Wildcard actually separated right now. This is massive for these guys. Can Foolish Duck? Oh, good flash over the wall. Keep himself saturated a little bit longer. Carcer gonna find Guessing it's under the wrong target right there because he's gonna take it under. Oh my god! Woofy into the back line. Wildcard has to blow their cleanse, try to stay alive for a little bit longer. They do get stunned up in the end. They've actually aggroed this dragon as well. Foolish Duck are trying to get in there, drop the ultimates. Nass is just pushing freely in the mid lane, but they're trying to get this dragon. They should be able to finish it up. The Hunk is going in a little bit late. Are they able to grab it? They're not going to be able to. They're finding some damage onto Christensen, but the ultimate gets dropped onto the Hunk. They get taken out by Christensen. Mid lane tower gets taken down by Nasus, and this turns into this is going to turn into like a backdoor race at some point. This game. This is just the 4th dragon of the game. It's 2-2, but Nasus starts crushing objectives.
Bingus might look for a Baron here. They know they took down the jungler. They know he won't be up for 20 minutes. The Nasus is a problem, but they're saying, listen, if we get Baron, we can just use the Baron buff to keep you away from our base.
Yep.
And that's exactly what they're going to do. Now, they do... Serenity does know they're taking this, but I don't know if there's much they can do. Monster Dragon wants to try and do something, but he takes out their vision and just, nope, I can't go in there. Just walks away and farms up. That will be a 25-minute Baron over to the side of Bingus.
And Nasus has just been free farming the last few minutes, getting really far ahead. We saw him just crush a tower in about 8 seconds of hitting it. So they can get their wave states into good positions before these fights break out. We can see this Nasus split push really start to matter.
My concern is going to be is that if this Nasus gets tanky enough and gets enough stacks, he may be able to push through this Sejuani and this Braum. Yes, this Sejuani is 0-0 and 10 right now. Sejuani's saying, listen, I'm dying. But the Sejuani is only building really MR. They have the Merchants, they have the Force of Nature. The Braum has Locket, and you know they have the Merc Treads as well. They're more worried about the Anivia. They're not really worried about the Nasus.
Yeah, I think it's because the Nasus presence isn't there in the team fights, and it's kind of like a known thing for Serenity. They're basically like, yeah, Nasus is somewhere else, and he needs to start pulling more than one person because that's when we'll be able to win these fights. When you can separate Wildcard from the rest of the team, that's when it's important. And here's Leap doing exactly that right here up top in the top lane against Christensen's able to dodge the Q right there. Is going absolutely crazy. Flash over the wall from Vigar to keep him alive for a little bit longer. And he's probably sending an SOS signal to his team right now.
He's backing. The team is still mid. Nasus is just going to be able to keep farming. He's not going to be able to do much, but he might just look for the tower. They're pinging it. They're saying, hey, listen, Nasus might just go for the tower. Nasus, no. Alright, it's that.
A lot of damage on this guy's Yuffie going all the way to the backline. Wildcard dropping super low, but goes invisible right there. Merlin guy's going to pick up the first kill of the fight. Carcer trying to flay these guys away, but so much damage coming out onto them. Vigar's able to actually kill Nasus. We missed that entire thing up in the top lane. Well, that's massive for Bingus Flingus.
Vigar says, listen, I trust my team to make plays against your team. I can hold you, Nasus. You're going to agree for this tower. I'm just going to kill you.
Yeah, that's a huge pickup from Christensen. I'm not going to lie. That is going to change this game entirely. This actually creates the ability for them to win, or maybe at least pushing bottom right here. Still going underneath tower. Might be a little bit dangerous. They have a huge wave down in the bot lane, too.
Serenity left on right needs to hold them off. That Baron buff is letting them to push too much. They have Vigar topside pushing. They just pushed mid. They didn't lose any inhib charts. They're still in good position, but they need to stop the damage coming out from Bingus Flingus. Question is, will they be able to? They've got Balls Dragon saying, hey, go bot, catch that big wave. They've got...
Yeah, they're actually saying Nasus is going to go for it and just farm.
Oh.
They're going to use the last seconds of this Baron, I think, to head back, pick up some items right here. Just looking at the gold spread, so much gold is onto this Vigar. A lot of this gold is onto this Vayne. They're playing with the V carries, and they are very good at what they're doing.
We have to remember though, the Kaisa did finish in a very quick blaze. They have the Kraken. They need to find a way to take down this Sejuani and this Braum. Otherwise, they're just never going to reach this Vigar and this Vayne. The Nasus is splitting the whole time and is not helping out the team fights. Granted, he did just build Hullbreaker. Nasus saying, you know, I'm leaping saying, listen, you guys can fight all you want, but unless you're able to kill my entire team, I'm going to split push. I'm going to make you lose towers. I'm going to make you lose gold. There is objective bounty on the side of Serenity left on red. Will Nasus be able to push for a tower, or will they be able to secure a Drake here? Bingus Fling is saying, no, we're going to control this dragon pit. We're going to control the vision around it. We're going to make you unable to push into us, unable to find our carries. Will Serenity left on red try and push back? Looks like they're going to get caught out by Stilt.
Yeah, a lot of CC coming out of these guys, but the ultimate being dropped right there. The cage actually connecting on a 2. Event Horizon finding 2 as well. Oh my god, Merlin guy is a mad lad. Taking the blast cone over the wall, but almost taking his life all the way down. He's going to have to hop to safety. He's actually just staying on that side of the wall. He says, I don't really care.
Merlin guy wants to force them back. He's saying, listen, yeah, we push you back a little bit, but I want you further. I don't want you anywhere near our dragon. And I'm going to go in, I'm going to push you away, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, he took that blast cone away too, which means the Hunk cannot get super far in. They have to go in right now. They're getting zoned out by Christensen. We're going to see an ult get dropped in. It's not going to be in time. Central is going to pick up the 3rd dragon of the game for Bingus Flingus, and now they're setting their sights towards mid lane. Foolish Sucka with a double man stun right there. Nasus in the side lanes.
That's going to be 400 gold.
Yep.
They're getting gold back on their team. That's objective bounty. And this Nasus is still sacking.
Les4 saying he's never seen such a Giga Chad Baram in his life. I agree, this dude is absolutely crazy.
Merlin guy is comfortable on this Braum pick. He showed it last game, and he's showing it again this game. I'm Leap, putting pressure topside, getting it back. This is going to give them a little bit of pressure for this next Baron. Will the Nasus just go bot lane and pressure? We have Foolish pushing it in now. Looks like I'm Leap is going to go bot side. That's going to let Anivia roam over to mid, give a little support over to Balsa Dragon. Balsa Dragon just needs to stay alive, try and punch down these tanks a little bit with the Kraken Slayer, trying to say, hey, listen, all we need to do is just stay alive, stay back, wave clear, and make this game go long enough where Nas is able to split push. And so far, they're keeping this game going. It's 30 minutes in. Biggest Flingus is, you know, with the amount of pressure they've been applying, they're only up by 4k gold.
They've got their hands on the wheel. They've got their foot on the gas pedal. They're looking to push this. They're looking to find their first series win of the regular season right now.
If I'm Foolish is able to get away with the Lantern. Nasus is balling, is pressuring for that next objective bounty with that turret.
Yeah, and Vygar has the match.
Down.
The Hunk finding still having an absolutely crazy game right now. 0-0 to 11 are going to go all the way in on these guys. Merlin guy going to follow a nice breakaway right there, but Nasus is going to take a tower in the bot lane. Still trying to find these guys. They have a blast cone. They're going to use it. They're going to knock 2 over the wall, but Wildcard is all the way over here to get CC to lot the flash forward, trying to find the Destiny. He's not going to. He's going to flash away as well. He's going in on Carson now. Can they find the damage? A Braum ultimate's going to connect on the 3. That's absolutely massive as Wildcard picks up the first one of this fight. They're looking for their second. They're going to get it. That's a double kill here for this Vayne. They're pushing in deeper. Can they find it onto Foolish Sucker? They can't. They're going to go back and say, we want this Baron.
They're going to get the pressure for the Baron, but Iron Leap is still full health pushing in on this Vygar. Forced to flash out of Vygar, saying, listen, you guys can go for Baron, but I'm going to start taking your base. They need this Baron to protect their base against the Nasus. That is one of their only answers. They're trying with the Vygar. Vygar does have damage, but not enough to keep Nasus away. Nasus is going to back. Goes, listen, they're going to back with Baron. I'm better off leaving now. Foolish is looking for something.
Over the wall is not going to get it, but now the Hunk is in deep trouble. Does use his stasis, goes golden, but also gets sent all the way back to the fountain.
That's going to be huge on the side of
oh my god, Christensen teleported in. He's on the backside of the Zenivia. He's not going to find it, though.
He was looking. He wanted the pick. Chris said, listen, I've been on Nasus duty. I want to find some action here. I've been just playing the stacking game against Nasus. I want to find me some kills.
Yeah, hungry for it. 16-6 is the score of this one. But the gold's actually not totally out of hand right here, right? It's about a 5k difference.
You gotta remember, they have all but the inhib turrets.
Yep.
They have this pressure on this map, despite the amount of kill difference. Serenity left and right is saying, we're still in this game. We have our Nasus splitting. We have the wave clear from the Anivia and from the Kaisa. We just need to play safe.
And Stilt's looking for something a little bit more aggressive here in the mid lane. They're going to find an ultimate onto a certain target. Karsha doing a really good job holding that Lantern, knowing that Stilt can't throw the ult because he'll throw the Lantern and be able to zoop that person to safety. So they're going to look to push in with this Baron right here.
They have this Baron pressure, and Karma's up top handling the Nasus.
Uh-oh, Foolish Sucker has to go golden right there to stay alive for a little bit longer. Is going to get ulted up by Stilt, but there goes the Lantern. A good ultimate's going to separate them as well. Wildcard goes down to half health. Karma's up in the top lane fighting against that Nasus, but I don't think she's the one who wants to be doing it. Good damage out of Vigar right there on the Karzer.
Yeah, remember, this is going to be sole point for the side of Bingus Flingus. They need to pressure this. They're going to get that, and that's going to be huge onto the Karma. It's going to be huge onto the Braum. It's going to be huge onto the Swanee. If they get this soul point, it's going to be real hard for Serenity left on red to be able to damage them back.
Yeah, they're going to get their Baron backs in right now. Try to reset right here as Leap just making sure that they have to fight 4v4 and 1v1.
Right now, Bingus Flingus is answering it well.
Oh,
They sent to
wait, they just said Vayne.
Wildcard's up there.
Finds the Wither. Can he find more damage? A Cleanse is going to keep him safe, but that's Cleanse down on Wildcard, and this could mean that this objective over here, oh my god, I'm taking everything I say back. To Christensen does so much damage. It is so, oh my god!
Smite!
Kaisa got it!
Kaisa got the secure. That stops him from getting soul point, but Serenity left on red looking for picks and saying, listen, you got the dragon, we got your jungler, we got your top laner, we got your support, we can push for your base.
Yeah, and that is exactly what they're going to try to do with this Baron up. They don't have soul, but they have so much ability to CC these guys, and they have no protection this time because Balsa and Foolish are going to be left to their own devices trying to hold a 2v5 Baron push.
Bingus Flingus burns that tower.
Oh my god, the ultimate going all the way in. No Lantern this time. Foolish Sucker going to have to flash for themselves as Balsa goes invisible, trying to run away. Wildcard chasing underneath. He gets the shield to keep himself alive for a little bit longer, but it's not going to matter. Wildcard's going to pick up that kill. Now looking for Foolish Sucker. And they find it. Dodges the CC. But this might be Bingus Flingus taking their very first series here at the LVLCS this season as Vigar just blowing them all up. Leap is now spawned though, but the Nexus is gone.
Bingus Flingus saying, listen, we may not have won a game yet, but we're going to take both of these games this season, and does just that. They take both games. They enable Wildcard. They enable Chris. They say, listen, we'll just run the Vayne Braum Karma again, and we'll just replace the Victor with the Vigar. They do just that, and they take this game, and they take it fast. It was a 35-minute game. This one, last game was about a 36-minute game. They say, listen, we'll go to mid game. We'll let our teammates sack, and they take this series.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm looking at this too, I'm looking if I'm in, economy. I mean, I'm in commercial group C. Then I'm thinking like, okay, I just watched two really important games for teams that are fighting right here for playoff position. If I'm in that group, I'm saying I do not want them to run this hyper carry with this wild card because it is a scary, scary thing. It is creating issues. We just saw them beat the first 2-0 that has happened to Serenity. Serenity, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, I'm not letting that boy have Gragas because even though he's 1-8-4 this game, he had two really good games and did the most damage on his team both games. Second most damage in the game in game one, third most in the game in game two. So there's definitely things to take away just from a scouting purposes from these two teams, but there is nothing to take away from the performance of Bingus Flingus getting their very first win, putting points on the board, jumping up in the standings, and starting to fight for this wildcard spot.
Bingus Flingus, they may have had a rough early season, but they are looking to take down the rest of the teams in this Group C and to look for a place in playoffs.
Yeah. And you know what? Both teams looked really good. Both teams had ideas coming into this. Both teams had ways they wanted to play and ways they wanted to stop the other team from playing. I wonder how effective it would have been if Braum or Karma was off the table. Yes, Wildcard is crazy with the positioning, crazy with the flashes, was clean with the cleanse, found the way. They bought those Berserkers first. They were repositioning, doing so well. But, if you take away those shields or you take away the Merlin guy who was absolutely nuts. MVP of the series for me is Merlin guy, just absolutely crazy on that Braum both games, protecting the crap out of Wildcard. I wonder how much the game changes if he doesn't have that.
Braum plays were incredible. The engages on it. The Karma top just saying, hey, listen, I'm just going to hold you back. I'm not going to let anything happen top lane. And Wildcard just saying, I'm comfortable on my Vayne. You guys may have taken my Lucian, but you let the Vayne through, and I'm going to show you what it can do.
Yeah, and it's 10:30 over here on the East Coast. Not sure about everybody out on the West Coast, which the community chat is calling the best coast. I don't really understand that because we're the beast coast over here on the east coast. And I think we're gonna dive in on a little raid. But before we do that, I'd love to talk to somebody from Bingus Flingus who wants to get their voice in here for an interview.
Please hop on over to the chat. If you can hop over to the voice channel community, we'll pull you right in for an interview. We'd love to hear from one of you guys, and excited to see what your thoughts were going into this series, knowing you haven't won a game yet, and yet you just took 2-0. It's incredible. Biggest Flingus is showing that they have the power to take these series out from under the hands of these enemy teams. Serenity left on red. They had the early game pressure, and Biggest Flingus just said, "Listen, we've got the macros to go around the map. Yes, we give away some dragons and we give away some turrets, but we're able to make these team fights happen." Looks like we're gonna get the Merlin guy in here.
Yeah, we are going to get the Merlin guy in here. I'm going to pull him in right now. Merlin guy, Brom, Chad. How are you?
I'm great.
How does it feel to have 3 points in the standings now?
Oh, it feels so much better.
Is it just like weight lifted off of the shoulders?
Oh, totally. And also just like our team, we're just like having so much fun, especially with these 2 games where it took us a while to figure out how to work together. I think that was the biggest thing because like we didn't really know each other before we started playing.
And so now you're trying to get to know each other. How were comms at the end of the series?
Oh, this series comms were fantastic. Like everyone's talking to each other. We're saying like, what's our plan? What are we doing? Who are we calling out in those team fights? Who are we trying to lock down? So it's been much better than it was the past few games we've been playing.
Well, we highlighted you and the Hunk, who chat was calling the Hunk, the Gragas on the other team, as the 2 really important, impactful players probably coming into the series from game 1. You guys played the same exact champions in game 2, played those similar roles. Do you play a lot of Braum, or is this just something you really like with Wildcard?
Braum is my favorite. I play him. I used to play him a lot. He is definitely the one I played a lot, but I don't play him that much anymore, so he can kind of slip under the radar. But he's definitely my most comfortable because he's got the disengage, he's got the engage. Like,
yeah,
I just go crazy on him.
He's got a lot of different mechanics. You played him like an engage support, by the way.
Oh yeah,
you were
he
ready
is.
to make those plays. I mean, you were engaging, you were flashing for these crazy ultimates. I mean, you were ready to go right into their enemy carries and say, "Listen, I will get my passive on you and I will hold you down."
Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about after game 1, because you guys had not won a single game at all. Game 1, are you guys like trying to settle each other down, or are you just feeding off of that hype?
Oh, we're feeding off the hype, but at the same time, we're like, okay, well, we're gonna lose either the Vayne or the Braum or the Karma. So what are you gonna do about that? And then they don't ban any of them.
So you're like, we gotta first 3 pick these.
Yeah, first.
We gotta make sure we take them. I love that. That was really fun to see in the draft. So you were really, which one did you think was getting taken away? Because the Maokai got taken away.
We thought the Vayne, honestly.
Yeah.
So the
And,
second that
we
was
have-
left up,
Yeah.
just took it right away.
Oh yeah, first pick, drop the Vayne, blind. Like we can do this.
Is there anything that you want to say to any of the Bingus Fingus fans? They're growing. You guys have been streamed. It's your 3rd stream you guys have been on. You've got a population of fans growing out here. Is there anything you want to say to them?
This is not our first win this is not gonna be our only win. This may be our first series win, but we got a lot of stuff that we've been working on, trying to put together, and we're confident we can grab some more.
So next week, it looks like you guys will be against. Let me look. You will be against. It looks like Rev Resparked. Are you ready for that match? Do you think your team is ready to continue this drive to the rest of the season?
Oh, I definitely think so. And if they think this is the only comp that we can play, they're gonna be mistaken.
Oh, I love the
to hear it.
banter. I
Love
love
to
it
hear
so much.
it.
Thank you, Merlin, for joining us tonight, and thank you for playing the absolute crap out of Bard and giving us a little bit of a showcase here.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
All right, guys, we are gonna be heading off in 1 second, but we're gonna hit this raid right now. We're gonna be heading over to another amateur league in about 8 seconds. As I always say at the end of every stream, have a wonderful night, eat 100 corianders, and don't forget to tell your dad